All right. Yo, I decided to jump on just a few minutes early just to make sure I click that go live button on the right so I don't make the same mistake I did last week. What's up, fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey and I am Shakira. What's up? How y'all doing? Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. You guys having a good weekend so far? Did you stay up late last night? Did you? Did you? Did you dream about trading? Because I did. I could not wait to do this back testing. But anyway, I'm a few minutes early, so ignore me. I am just, I just wanted to make sure that I'm early this time instead of late like I was last week. And I thought I was early. So, lies and deceit. Things I want to cover. So once we hit 10 o'clock, I'll go over everything I want to do from a backtesting perspective. And we'll take a quick gander at the trades I took this week. So let's get into that lovely life in like 2 minutes. So, let's wait because I just want to make sure I didn't mess up this time. Maddie's over here being good, chilling, being super adorable as always. And I double checked the on demand feature here for Thinkorswim, and it is actually working the way it's supposed to. So, we'll also be testing out some different time frames. And I want to really work through some of my 2022 model entry stuff. So, let's take a quick look. So we got another minute, and then we'll be on for realsies. Let's go! If you want it, let me hear it, let me know. I. Right, Wolfie? That's what's up, that's what's up, that's what's up. Sorry, that's literally, as soon as I saw you say let's go, that's the first thing that popped into my head. So that's just the way my brain works. You're welcome. Oh man, yeah, you know it, man. Damn straight indeed. All right, so I'm very excited. I'm not kidding. I was literally dreaming about this backtesting session because I tend to take less trades now, so 3 trades a week instead of 2 trades a day. That can that's like a weird mindset shift, you know? I understand like folks who tend to trade on a daily basis and take multiple trades. That's a whole different mindset too, right? So going from a space where I was trying to be really disciplined and only trading 2 trades a day, and sometimes when I've lost my mind, 3, um, that put me in a space where I realized I'm still in drawdown. This isn't really working for me. And when I look at my journal, it's not A plus material. No. So making that adjustment to trading only three trades a week. I mean, let's say I get 3 trades early in the week. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna not try and get something later on if my model shows itself. But when it does, take the trade. When it doesn't, sit on my hands. Wolfie, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm still salty about that trade on Thursday that I couldn't take because the damn Home Depot dude was like, ding, rang the doorbell. I was like, but it's forming right there. It's right there. My partner's sick and tired of me complaining about it though. All right, so let's get tiny. All right, so the plan for today's session. We're gonna work through a couple things. One, I trade the ICT 2022 model mainly, but I'm going to be working on determining entries in on days when my bias is in one direction and the market's moving in another. Because I tend to take the first, you coming, Maddie? I tend to take the first entry after the shift, or a secondary entry based off of an order block that forms based on specific criteria which I have not seen at all this week. Oh, I don't know if you saw that, man. She is lithe. There is the Maddie. She's hunting something. I don't know what, but she's gone. Anyway, so I figured just before we roll into looking at the charts and think of a day you guys want to try and trade, I want to also take a look at pre-market hours to see if, on days when I know it's going to be like super busy for me at work, I can potentially, nip in like from, I don't know, 6 to 9 or something and catch something as well. So let's first take a quick gander at the trades I took. The one trade I took this week is literally a one trade week. I took one loss. Let me look at my calendar here. I took one loss on calendar. ¿Dónde está? Come to me, calendar. What do you have for me? Yes, good, good. And let me do a quick share. Let's see. Quick share of my trading view. Let me switch over from Thinkorswim really quickly. All right, let's switch over to here. And let me nip over to a new window. So just so you know, we have my Thinkorswim on demand. If I'm looking this way, I'm looking at that screen along with the trading view window, and then the chat's this way. So if I'm like bobbleheading back and forth, that's what I'm looking at. All right, so let's nip over to Wednesday. I took one trade on Wednesday, and I'm gonna kind of share the trade that I wanted to take on Thursday with you guys as well, just to because I'm starting to realize there's a specific inversion or reclaimed fair value gap that I really like to work with, and that's Thursday. Yeah, that I really like to work with, and I need to get more comfortable noticing it, recognizing it, and just being, and then taking it. Sometimes folks call it like the ICT model or whatever, and that's fine. But sometimes, it's just an imbalance or in the market. So I took this trade and I took it after 11:30, which is a terrible, terrible idea for me. Terrible, terrible idea. Okay, so on Wednesday, so we've been dropping from 9:30. And if we look to the left here, it's not really pretty, but we took on a ton of liquidity right there. They took out all this liquidity. I didn't necessarily need it to take, actually took out all that, right? So when it took out all the liquidity on the left here, I was like, cool. Now I'm waiting for a shift in structure, right? So if we zoom in, and let me get my window so I can see any comments if you have any. So when I looked at it, so this is kind of exactly what I want to see when I'm looking for an entry, right? Because the entry was technically right here. As you can see, when it came back, it just stopped me right out. But I like this low. We took out a ton of liquidity here. We shifted above it, left a fair value gap for me to jump in on. And then, if I'm right, then and they were done, we could tap it and go. Now, in these scenarios, when they've been dropping so much, I'm realizing that I need to wait for the second. So this in my mind is a market structure shift. I should have waited for the break in structure. So the second option of that. So it would have looked something like this. Let me see if I have the right tool. Let me use it. So it would have looked something like this. So, we're dropping, yay, dropping, dropping, beautiful. We took stuff out. We broke above, did this, dropped, and then retest, and then run. like that second stage entry would have been like confirmation for me after that longer rundown. So it's actually how I managed to not get in a trade, a similar type of trade on Friday, because I was waiting for that second stage confirmation. Actually, it was for a short on Friday. I never got it, and it kept going up. So I was like, okay. So that's something I need to learn to remind myself and bake into my setups, so that actually I need to move this down so that it makes a little bit more sense, because we need to see the break-in structure there. Ha, there we go. So that's something I need to remember and remind myself of, because then that would give me the confidence to take that long. Lots and lots of confirmation at that point, right? So we didn't get that here. So, you know, moving forward, especially when the trend for the day is like looking super bullish, I'm gonna wait for that second stage entry. And I think we got something like that for a long later on in the day. So we had a break-in structure here. It's not as pretty. I don't like it as much. But then we had a second stage break here. So, you could have if I'm being completely honest with you, like this big push up, I love seeing these little breaks right here. Like I love, love, love. This is like my favorite signature. Like I love these little cracks in the code there, because it just makes me feel like they like to come and tap into it. And I did not take this, obviously. It's at lunchtime, it's outside of my normal trading times, but this is like a not so clean version of the second stage break for me. Because then that made me feel more comfortable that they were going to continue up. And I'm looking for about 210 ticks. And look at that. I would have had to sit through some BS, a little bit of drawdown, but my, what is this, $185 stop would have protected me just fine in this scenario, and then given me the 52 slash almost 53 point target. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right. So that's one thing that I'm going to be testing. So I want to look at some days where price was dropping. So, think about days that you want to try and back test. We'll do that. We're going to do some pre-market stuff. So let's nip back over to Thursday in the PM. And I just want to share the secondary type of entry that was like making me, actually, there was a beautiful short in the morning too. And I just did not take it, like a big old silly person. But problem was it didn't fit my normal criteria. That's what the problem was. But it did fit into the setup that I was looking at, that I've been kind of watching. So areas where, and this can happen on any of the time frames, 5 minute, 15. I like the higher time frames, but I'm also noting that they show up quite nicely on the 1 minute too, as well. So this is the PM trade I wanted. It's what I was waiting for. I was so excited. Then my doorbell rang when it was up here. And I was like, no, come on. No, don't do this to me. Don't do it to me. Please. But I had to get up and leave. What up, Maya? How's it going, man? How's it going? Happy Saturday. All right, so let's walk through why this trade was such a good vibe for me on Thursday. All right. So, some of my favorite scenarios. We'd dropped a whole bunch in the morning, and then we ran up, and oh, look, here's another example of that second stage, like confirmation for the long, too, right? We ran down, took a whole bunch of liquidity. This is like some liquidity down here that's off to the left, right? We did a little mini shift here. And if we zoom in on this puppy, So I don't like these scenarios, right? I don't like when they leave all of this, like there's a little one here, a tiny one there, nothing there. They come all the way back down. Like these scenarios I don't get into because I can't really confirm that they're gonna continue going up, right? But that second stage shift, once they bust above this again after taking all that liquidity, that's the secondary. So the first shift is a market structure shift, right? Like we've been dropping, 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 and now we're flipping the script and we're going in the other direction. But I'm realizing, and this is all from journaling, by the way, right? Like I've journaled the last three trades that I've lost being bullish. And why did I lose them? Because I didn't wait for the second break of structure after the initial market structure shift, or at least what I consider to be the initial market structure shift, right? So after they took all this liquidity, they ran up and shifted here. It's a baby shift, but it was a shift. And a shift is only good in my mind if we have this here, right? The middle candle has to be above the other two. That's a shift for me, right? And they pushed a body above it. I like bodies. I don't like when they wick it. That makes it super iffy. But then they ran up. And if I'm being honest with you, like when they run like this, I don't really expect them to come back down. So I personally, once this candle formed, would have put an entry like midpoint of this wick and of course not gotten in. Now the question is, would my poor little stop have been able to handle that? Because I would have wanted like midpoint of the wick. I would not have gotten into that trade. Let's be perfectly honest. Why? Because I need my stop to at least be right below this candle right here. I wouldn't have gotten into that. But that's now like what I consider to be like a second stage movement up. And one of my favorites too. I don't like when there's long wicks because they like to traverse the wick and hit the body sometimes and run up, which is why I usually like to either go the midpoint and make sure my stop can cover them tapping the middle and the body, but be below more than 75% of that candle. And that makes me very, very happy. But in this scenario, I would not have gotten like kicked in there. Anyway, so after all this run up, I wasn't feeling very like juicy about this moving up. But if you wanted like, this is also another break in structure. This candle here is telling me they're respecting the middle of this fair value gap. And this is why this is important. And this is why I'm salty about that Thursday trade. Because when I start to see them hanging out in areas like this, here's a nice fair value gap. It's bullish. It's an imbalance. All we've done is buying. Oh yeah, Maya. The market's not the there's opportunity in the markets. You'll find that as you grow as a trader, you'll figure out ways to work through it. So, I mean, I hope you're journaling. I hope you're taking time to journal and write down how you're feeling. What were your thoughts about the trade? Why'd you get into it? Why did it fail? I love a lot. I love a losing trade because I spend so much time just overanalyzing it. Like, what did I do wrong? What could I have improved upon? And no joke, that's why I think I've reduced myself to only three trades a week and only my A plus setup. And now I'm learning to be patient like Buddha. Oh yeah, I couldn't find Dilly Squat on Friday. Friday was disgusting. But anyway, so I, we're looking for areas where price, for me, we find a fair value gap where price is either supporting it or resisting it. I love when they tap it a few times. This one, two, three, it pushed up. Lovely. So in the PM now, I'm pulling this fair value gap all the way over. Why? Because I want to see them break it, right? So they ran up, they took this manufactured liquidity. They probably took some liquidity to the left too. Let's see. Yeah, they took this out, right? Nothing too exciting, but there's more up top, right? There's more. So they could go Buddha mode 100% activated. Buddha bless you. I think I saw that in an anime somewhere. I don't remember. I'm impressed there's no kitties harassing me. This is amazing, y'all. It's amazing. Once I set up these desks, it's just kitties running all over it. I'm like, I can't get any work done. Anyway, I've been dreaming about back testing this in my, like I couldn't sleep last night. My head was just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I really look forward to these sessions that I give myself to run through all this stuff. Anyway, so I'm looking. So earlier in the day, they respected it, ran up, ran up, ran up. So I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Why? Because now, once they've taken all this liquidity, because it still fits in with my A plus model, it's still a shift, it's still a break in structure. Only reason why I wouldn't have taken something a little bit juicier up here is because all of this foolishness, that tells me nothing. This is the shift for me right here. And they took it here and then they ran back up. It gave me nothing. Technically, if we're going with the second break in structure, it would have been here. But where's my entry going to be? Where's the order block for that? It's like, for me, it's all the way up here. And it's not even the kind of order block I like. The order blocks I like, the wicks are higher up, above, in between the two black candles, and then they come back down. But they never went back up to it. I don't like that. If I had been using this fair value gap, which formed during that time, then maybe I could have taken an entry at the end of this. That's a potential too, but I don't like that as much. More opportunity for gain, but you look how much of this BS we would have to sit through. That doesn't mean like any entry is going to give you, you know, not BS time wasting crap like NQ's been doing to us, but it's not clean, right? So in my mind on Thursday, I'm waiting. If they're going to continue down, I'm waiting for a nice clean break of this area that they've been using as support for bullish price. So now I want it to become an inversion fair value gap, meaning it's switched its purpose and now it's acting as resistance to go down in the opposite direction. And what is my favorite setup for that? I personally love, and I mean love, love, love. So they busted through it here. They respect, look at it. Zoom in, and look at the juicy nature. And this is why I'm so salty. So salty, damn Home Depot dude coming and ringing the damn doorbell right as I'm waiting for this damn setup. I'm like, life. Guys, life happens. It comes and smacks you in the face and you miss trades because of it. Damn it. I love life. Life is beautiful. Have you watched Attack on Titan? Of course. Years ago though. I've seen all the movies. Uh, I think I got bored somewhere down the line in the actual anime, but yeah, yeah. I mean, the movies are really cool. The anime is awesome, but I have not watched that in a very long time though. I have not. But as you can tell, I'm wearing a One Piece shirt. One Piece for the win! Luffy, man. Luffy, come on. Come on. Come on. Luffy. Don't worry, I love my anime. I'm looking for a Demon Slayer sweatshirt that is not made out of polyester, something soft. So I'll share something with you guys. Fun fact, I do not wear anything that does not caress my body. No cotton. You watching Attack on Titan now? Nice, nice. Yeah, it's a really good, really, really high fan base. It's beautiful. But I watch so many animes, I forget names of everything. Like Fairy Tail is one of my favorites. Of course, One Piece. I'm really enjoying Dr. Stone, Assassination Classroom. Oh my God, there are just so many. There's so many good anime. The one with Eins Hoon on it. What's it called? Anyway, my brain is farting. Back to the charts. Anyway, so after waiting, and the damn dude rang my damn doorbell. So salty. Because my favorite setups is once we busted through here, not this one, because I didn't get what I was looking for. If it busted through here and if there's fair value gaps in here, I wait because they like to run back up, touch into the fair value gaps, and then bust through again afterwards. Things that I really like. about this setup. Bodies inside of the fair value gap, wicks outside of it. That's telling me we going down, baby. Now, if I was a different type of entry person, I would have taken like an entry at the top here when I started seeing this. And I don't know, I would have been wicked out on this candle if I was that kind of trader. I'm not. I like to take it at this end of the spectrum instead. Why? Because once they break through, show me they're not trying to roll back up, and then they give me a nice juicy candle down. Once this candle forms, I set my limit order and wait. Wait. And what am I aiming for? I'm so salty because this is what I was waiting. I was like, man, this is some bullshit. I was aiming for, there's a big juicy fair value gap down here. I was just aiming for them to come down into it. I don't need the whole run, but I would have taken that. I would have taken, this is a trade I was excited about. I was ready, and this damn dude, man, rolled in my damn space. So salty. Oh, Delicious in Dungeon? Of course. What are you talking about? I'm waiting for that next season. Mm. The looks on people's faces when they're like, "Oh, you're eating dungeon." The look on the L's face every time they're like, "We're gonna cook that up and eat it." It kills me every time. I watch way too much anime. By the way, there's no such thing as way too much anime. All right, so that's what I wanted to share. On that, there was a potential for a afterwards, after I missed the trade that I wanted and the dude finally left, I came back, no joke. I should have been like, okay, so they came down, it ran all the way back up. In my brain, in my brain, I was thinking, take it here. But I was like, I don't want to. What if it just runs around and runs and blah blah blah? Overthinking. Okay? Don't overthink it. If it makes sense, again, second stage entry. I know it's all the way up here. Break of structure. Take it there. And then I was in my head about missing this juicy trade because come on. Juicy. A lot of times, like when you miss a really good trade, like you've been waiting for it all day and it lines up perfectly, everything else after that becomes crap. What up, abundance protocol, man? Aw, drive safely. Enjoy. Where you headed? Have some fun, man. Road trips are the best. Road trips are the best. Mm, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh yeah, so my point about whenever you've got a trade, like your A plus setup and it's gonna have a nice return and you somehow miss it, almost every other trade after that is subpar. Yeah, it's subpar. So be careful about that feeling you get after you miss that one trade, and then you have that desire to like, oh, I missed it. I gotta get into something else. It's like a crackhead, like I need that next fix. You know what I'm saying? Close the charts, close it because nothing's gonna be as clean as that first trade that you missed. Yes, you can take other trades after that. They're not going to be as clean and they're not going to give you as much most of the time. I mean, of course, NQ might have that moment of, and she'll just run. But I mean, look at this thing. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. That was a big return for me. Big, big. That would have been like a good $1,500, I think. Let me see. I don't think I'm like, whatever. So because I missed the juicy trade, everything else felt subpar. So I closed the charts after that. It's really important not to fight. Don't fight the charts after you've missed your A plus setup. Don't fight it. It's not worth it. You spent a year and a half, a little over a year and a half, realizing that fact. And don't forget to journal. All right, let's nip over to um my calendar so I can just share real quick what the month of September has looked like for me. So this is what we're looking at for September. Um, I've taken what? So on the 5th, I made 440. The ninth, took a loss, no trades, break evens these 2 days, a loss, and then a nice big whopper after FOMC, which actually took me to green on my account, like $400. Then I took a loss on that long, and that's why I was analyzing it so hard because like what could have helped me to not take that loss? And that second stage breakup structure is what would have saved me from this loss. And that's now I'm down. Now I'm only up $200 on my live account. That's okay. I've been fighting with drawdown this whole time since I've been trading my own money. So I'm quite happy. Last year, I was by this point, I was probably down like 3K or something like that. Instead, I'm up $200. I'm happy. And this, if you like look at the statistics around tradings, it doesn't matter that I lost that, and that. I'm still green. I'm still up like what, 950 or something for the month. It's better than what I was doing before. So I'm actually quite happy and proud of myself for all of this. And let's take a quick gander at my dashboard, which is not perfect. I'm still working out why my profit and loss does not fit what's in my thinkorswim, but whatever. The important parts is I'm working on my win rate, and right now I'm at a 34% win rate for 2025, because each one of these will be a yearly journal for me, right? So I'm uh, per Bob's suggestion, I've added a weekly trading status. So we can see for September, in the first week, I made that 440. I had a 115 loss on the second, a 925 win, and then a 205 loss. So right now for um, the monthly return, I'm up 1,045 for the month, which is amazing. Last month, I crawled my way back up to a $45 win on the month. And then I'm tracking like average wins. Um, it's boggling to me to see what the profit factor is, even though I think it's kind of off. But what's important for me is the win rate. Like I want to take this bar and slowly make the green one bigger. So one trade at a time, 1 week at a time. And it's nice to see what my max gains were and my max loss. So I'm trying to make sure that I keep it. I'm kind of mad it's at 510. It should be much less than that because I should be doing better. Well, you got to journal, like I I take meticulous notes. This is just me journaling all of my setups, and you can see for from September, everything's been an A setup. No, even win or lose, it's been an A setup for me. So journal. And this is actually not even like this is just my where I put the trade documentation and small notes. Then I have my other journal with like screenshots of my trades and all of that good stuff too. So like you can see this is the trade I took that I was showing you and I got stopped out from here. All right, let's nip over to Thinkorswim and get started with the forward testing. So that's the part I'm excited about. But I got a little um, super interested in checking that stuff out. Let me read some of this. Okay, Whopper makes me. You want a burger? Oh my God, I had a burger yesterday for dinner. I feel mildly fat. All right, so fun. So for anybody new, I'm using the Thinkorswim. And let me tilt this down a little bit. I'm using the Thinkorswim on-demand feature for this forward testing. It's pretty nice. Thanks, Wolfie. Trust me, you got to journal. If I hadn't been journaling, I wouldn't know what to fix and adjust, and I wouldn't be 200 in profits. Yay! Anyway, all right. So we're using the Thinkorswim on demand feature up here. It's really nice because you can actually trade the day as though it's live. As you can see, the candles are printing as they did on the day because Thinkorswim keeps all of that information. So we can pick any day we want. Right now it's on May 21st. What's nice is that last weekend, I think they were doing some work, so all of my set order things were grayed out, but they are now working, so yay! So let me set my active trader thing, so we can do that. All right, so what I want to do, so I'll be testing out the second stage entry stuff and also pre-market stuff. So we're gonna grab a day. If you guys have a particular day you want to play with. We're going to do some pre-market back testing, one, and then we can run through uh, different times based off of whatever that day's movements is. So I want to run through my normal process, but second stage entries, and then the inversion fair value gap setups as well. So let's get to it. Okay, so if you guys don't have a date you want to use, I'll randomly pick something. So let's go with, I don't know, June. Let's try a Monday. Let's say June 16th for now. And let's do 9:35, which gives me time to check to see if there's any news. And let's auto zoom that. So now we're on June 16th at around 9 in the morning. Let's switch the time frame to the daily just to see what we're working with on the daily there. And let's take a gander here. So let's make this a little bit bigger. And let's take a look. All right, so we're looking pretty bullish on the day. We got some juicy highs up here. So I'm gonna just note that just because I like to see where the liquidity is. So let's just plop this big boy right there, some buy side. All right, so we should technically be bullish on the day. Oh, didn't I say we're gonna do pre-market? My bad. Let's pick like 6:30 because I like to sleep in. I usually like to I get up by 5:30 or so. So 6:30 a.m. on this Monday. My bad. There we go. So we're 6:30 in the 15 minutes. And I've never actually traded pre-market. So this is me trying to figure out if I can utilize this time frame to save me when I need to work on busy days like Thursday, because man, that was like insane. I couldn't get nothing done. All right, so let's note some buy side liquidity. I'm just gonna call these BSLs. Buy side liquidity up here. So this is just areas where they like to put their stop losses. People like to put their stops so we can go knock them out. And then other things I like to note in this space, let's zoom in a little bit more. All right, do we have any fair value gaps where price has been like hanging out? Like I kind of like this one right here. We got a bunch of wicking here, some support, and then they drop below it. So the question is, can they reclaim it? So let's note this thing. And it can't just be any old fair value gap, guys. It's got to be something that's been used and abused and is ready to topple. Let's make it a lighter green. All right, and let's just zoom in and make sure that I've drawn this correctly. Please note, for any fair value gap that you're using, check to see if there's any space. You see that? Check to see if there's any space in between it because you might be missing pieces of it. That is also included. It's not only via the wick. Try to get that. Okay. And then the bottom is, let me just use the price target here. So the high of this is 22,013. So let's take the 25 off. 0, 0. Because that little break is also a part of the fair value gap. So just a little bit of a tip there. Okay, why I like this one, especially if I'm bullish. And let's make this. So if I'm bullish, it's pre-market, never traded it. So let's figure that out. So we got these wicks, but no bodies. And then they broke through. This would have been a nice candidate for a retest, but I would have set my entry like right here or the midpoint of this to go down. They didn't give anybody no chance for that. They just dropped like a stone. Okay. So now let's see. This is the 15 minutes. Let's see what we get on the lower 15-minute and see if there's anything that's holding price up. I try my best not to do too much. Hey, Sasha, what's up, baby girl? Who's my pretty girl? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You guys want to see the baby? Come here, little girl. Oh, this one's not going to stay around for long, so get a quick look. This is Sasha. She's a big purr baby. She also likes to lick a lot, and she's not as much of a lap baby as Maddie is, but there's your Sasha viewing, your Sasha sighting for the day. She's hanging out around the legs here. All right, let's see about this pre-market action. All right, so pre-market, we took this. Ooh, okay. So let's see how they behave. There's plenty of juice up here if they want to run it pre-market. For my model, oh, sure. Are you back? What are we doing? Are we gonna like hang out on the lap today? Oh, hello, thank you. Oh, see, there's the licking. There's the licking. If you want a kitty that likes to lick a lot, come have some Sasha. Come have some Sasha. It's like lick central. It's also the cutest thing when she like uses her two little paws to grab me so she can lick. Thank you, baby. I appreciate the kisses. Aw, you're such a little licker. How am I supposed to get any work done with your cute self? Your little purr machine. It's a little purr machine. Anyway. And she's gone. Yes, kitties. My little babies. There's so much light pollution behind me. I didn't even realize. I have the light on. I don't have anything fancy as like a ring light or anything. It's just all natural Shakira, y'all. So enjoy that. Enjoy it. All right, so let's nip this way. So we're looking for, I don't even know, like what do we see in pre-market? Like how does one even trade pre-market? Like for real, like I don't really understand it. It almost feels like it's too thin, price right? Work it, nah. My God, they're both over here. They're both by the window looking out. There's Maddie. Sasha's on the windowsill. I can't turn this anymore, I don't think. You're getting, there you go. We've got both kitties in the vicinity. Anyway, it looks like I'm disconnecting myself trying to do that. Anyway, work can be done because I am in need of working through my process and it's helping. Doing this every single weekend is helping the hell out of me. Pre-market. All right, so what do we have? So let's see, where's London lows in all of this, right? So let's see, in all this mess. It's about 2 o'clock, but we're all the way down here at 21.9. Okay, so what I don't understand about pre-market, like during the New York session, things kind of make sense, right? Because 9:30 comes and you have an opening, it creates a 9:30 low and high, and then you can also aim for like the London low and all that stuff. Like I don't think pre-market takes London lows out, does it? Have you guys seen that in your travels? in your trading. Plus, look at these candles. It's a little thin, isn't it? I think if we looked at ES, it'd be even thinner. Like, what is this? What is this? Like during the day, we've got a lot more liquidity to work with, a lot more movement. This feels kind of, I don't like it. I don't like it. What do I even want to happen here? Is my question. Like, I guess that's why we're trying to figure out this whole pre-market thing. So what I want initially is for them to run up, but I'm like, what's the impetus for that pre-market? I don't really know. All right, so far since midnight open, we've just been moving up. So I think in this scenario, I need to find a fair value gap that I can use for an entry of some sort. So what time is it? It's 6:38. Let's nip up to 7 o'clock because this is dry as hell. I don't know, y'all. This isn't usually around the time that I'm like working out or something. So it feels kind of wrong to try and trade it as well. I don't know, I'm cheating a little bit, but I need to see what the heck we're doing. This is a 15 minute. Trying to zoom in a bit here on the space. So as we see, my model requires liquidity to be taken, a market structure shift, and now I'm trying to test the second stage entry, which I think is a beautiful thing. All right, so if we waited for 6:30, what did we do? They rolled down. If I come in at 7 o'clock, this low in my mind is now sort of safe, right? They took stuff to the left of it. And then we had one shift here. I don't really trust this one because it's manufactured in the middle of this whole thing. This is the one that I more care about. So that shift there. And then they came back down into this fair value gap right here. And then they shifted one more time. It's ugly, and I wouldn't take it because it's ugly. Because I mean, what do they do after that? Because the second stage shift is here, but it's literally in the same like little zone as the first. So, oh, okay, we got some movement. What are we doing? What are we doing? Ugh, did I pick a shitty morning attempt for this, y'all? For this pre-market stuff? Because I'm not a fan of this price action I'm seeing here. I think last week was a shitty price action day too. But we gotta also know when to not get in on some of the shitty price action. They did make equal highs up here though. So I personally, regardless of the fact that they did this, it's ugly. I still think they're gonna run up. So the question is, are we tapping this to continue this way? Personally, if they shift above this guy, then I will potentially, consider a long. And this might be a bit too much to add in here, but we are looking at fair value gaps that have done its job to hold price down. So something I've noticed when we get these, so this guy formed, tapped it and dropped. Beautiful scenario for a short, personally. Why? Because they took liquidity out. Technically, this is a shift below here. I'll accept that one. This is where I would have wanted an entry. I would not have gotten it. It's too thin. The price action is too thin. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I know I've only just started testing this out, but dang. So I'm wondering if this candle finishes, we got like 48 seconds. I like the fact that it dipped into this and it's kind of running away and we're still somewhat bullish. This is not in any way, shape, or form like a model. You see why you need to let the candle close. It looked nice, right? And then it closed it in. And then all of a sudden, what I wanted is dead in the water. But I would love if we bust above here, give me a green closed candle like at the top or in the middle, take that to continue up. Because so far, I'm still bullish on the day because the trend on the daily is bullish. The question is, does the early morning give me a bullish setup? This this wick into this fair value gap does make me feel kind of like, heck yeah, I'd like that. But this 15-minute is gross. So it'd be nice. And like further confirmation for a continuation up as like a quick dip in here and then run up from here would be a second green candle this way. Two of these don't make me feel comfortable about that setup. What do you guys think? But it's also not feeling very A plus E for me. Like this is some thin price action early in the morning. I don't know if I can deal with this. God, these kitties are in full zoomy mode. Like you can't begin to hear all the weird zoomy sounds I'm hearing. It's just insane. Yeah. So my normal setup does require me to get some sort of shift in structure. It does not have to occur after I've just gotten on the charts, right? Like if the structure's already shifted this way and we get a second stage shift like this, I should feel comfortable getting in on that. So I've set a rule for myself. Like when I see these scenarios and I'm bullish and there's plenty more liquidity further up inside of this space, I'm looking for them to dip up into that. So then I would be looking for a run up into here. I don't even need them to take like whatever highs to the left here. Let me see. There's plenty of annoying stuff up here, so I wouldn't want to like get too far into this chop, because then that's gonna cause problems. But dipping into this fair value gap that they've used as resistance, as they've busted through like butter, that's something I can aim for. Now, if they burst below this low, then a short would work well, I think. But remember my rules about this particular setup. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's like the best. I don't think this pre-market business is gonna work for me, guys. We might need a dip to the normal session for testing. This is annoying. So this, like, the fact that it dipped in and it's still staying above, let's be cheeky, right? I was gonna be cheeky. Rude. How much time's left on this 15-minute candle? It's 7:07, so plenty of time's left on our 15-minute candle. So this is what usually messes with me, right? Before I was trading just my A plus setup, things like this would get me, right? I would be sitting here like, yeah, okay, there's a little break here. Let me take the long. Obviously, I'd be stopped out. But but that's why you have to have rules, man. You gotta have rules. And those rules need to like keep you in good stead. Now, this is an interesting thought. Spot where where price has rejected from before. Should I be trying a short? So we had a shift here, a pretty big one. Now we have a second shift here. So, all right, I am going to test. What? Why? It is now. What is wrong with this day? On May 21st, I could set my order. Why is it? It's grayed out again. Why is it grayed out? Why are you playing games with my emotions? Man, is it the day? Why is it doing that? Like, it was working earlier. I tested it. Rude. I'm offended. Hmm. Seriously? Oh, that hurts my heart. All right, whatever. So let's just put a line where we want an entry. So for me, I want an entry right here. If I were to go short from just the simple fact that they pushed past this area and didn't bust above. So along for me would be like right here, up, second stage, potential entry. It's not pretty though. It's not pretty. I can't believe it's not letting me do that. As soon as I change the date, it just grayed out again. What is going on? TOS, man. What is going on? Tiny fair value gap in here. I wonder, part of the reason why I want the entry here is that I want my stop to be above this little break area right here. If I were to, consider taking that. Because this has been used not once, but twice as an area of interest and rejection. So let's say this fails. Let's put a little marker on it. Put a little entry marker on that guy. Oh. So where did they go? They went to the wick of this small candle here, not this one. I guess this is just kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Painting time or whatever, perhaps. And the entry should have been here. Question is, could my stop have handled that? Anyway, so if my entry's there, then I would like to see them come take out. I don't even need that low taken out. Just a quick hit to come take this out right down here. Let's see if they do that. But again, why is my entry wrong? Well, second stage option, if I miss this and they bust below here, the entry would now become like right there. But then my stop would have to be like above this fair value gap. Technically, if you're doing it right, the stop should be above the three candles that form it. Like 1, 2, 3 that form it, it should be above this one. Or at least above 75% of it, I think. But I don't like to chase. Like I wouldn't put the entry here until we've closed below here. Like my original desire for an entry is technically at the body where this, little bit of volume imbalance actions go in. But I'm inherently bullish and I don't like this thin ass stuff. So we might switch to the 930 of this day and maybe even grab let me duplicate this and maybe even grab some equal lows down here. So you could kind of reach for that. So TP, and we'll just estimate where our stop would have been. So if I left this entry, I don't know, do they give me something? They haven't closed below here. I don't like that. They're also hanging out at the midpoint of this fair value gap. So as this price action is, I'm forcing it, y'all, for this price action. It's not doing anything for me. What time is it? 7:12. Let's fast forward 10 minutes because this is taking too long. Because it's not looking juicy. It's not looking juicy. So we fast forwarded 10 minutes because I'm just not interested in this weak price action. I don't know if that early morning thing is going to work for me. All right, so this definitely would have stopped me out for sure. And I already said I didn't like it as much, so I wouldn't like this doesn't feel juicy. Like I'd prefer if, I got this here, we got the shift and all that. Like I prefer that, but this is just weird. But having respected this, now my other scenario comes into play or begins to come into play. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I have to backtest this way more, the pre-market hours, because this is really thin. It's really thin. And it's not making me happy, and we're just barcoding. All right, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna cheat. Let's go to 9:35 because I can't deal with this price action. It's driving me nuts. Let's go to 9:35 same day, and I want to see. Oh, look at that. Okay, wait. So maybe I should be looking at like 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock or something like that. What do you guys think? 8 to 9. Because look at this price action. Oh, it wouldn't have given me an entry anyway. Because remember what I said, right? For long, I want them to form something like a down closed candle, like at the top or in the middle, and then give me something. They didn't form it. They just kind of ran. And then any other area where I would have wanted an entry, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, not gonna lie to you. Like when I saw this after this shift up, two things. My entry would have been here, or even in this little break right here where I wouldn't have gotten anything. But these three candles are like are order blocks because the the respect of this and then the break above that feels better. If I didn't catch this entry because I'm like insane, then this one. Why? Because of the break in the price. They're tapping into this fair value gap. They've already like done this weirdness into the middle and run up. This would have been my only option. I would have taken a little bit of heat. Let me see. Why is it grayed out again? This is so annoying, y'all. Damn. Anyway, and then that would have been a nice. So this happened like if I'd been patient, this happened a few minutes after. I was like, F this. Because then I wanted my TP like the middle of this thing. Because I don't need the whole run, just some of the run. All right. I'm gonna just pick a closer date to like I'm gonna grab September 10th just for funsies, y'all. And I'm doing that because I want to see if the feature, if the buy and sell button still grayed out. Why? Why is it doing that? When I tested it, it wasn't grayed out. It's doing it now. Why? Man, that's so rude. So rude. Oh, but this is a good day to test out, I think. What is this? September 10th? I don't know what happened this day. But we have this weird M shape thing going on here. Let's take a look at the daily just for funsies because I don't really know. 'Cause they busted through. Okay, so still pretty bullish on the day. Let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame, and I want to see where the London lows are. Let's see. What time is that? I can't tell. Dang it. 8:26, 5:24. Oh, they took those out already. Bam. They already took the London lows out. So, not what I want to see. And what did they take out at the top? So I'm just trying to look for liquidity right now. So here's some inner liquidity. They can bust past that and run for the hills. I can't believe Thinkorswim's doing this to me. Like I don't know why it's acting the fool right now. I feel like I honestly feel like I want to close it out and re-log in just to, let's see, okay, let's mark that out as well. Technically, these are the lower, some equal lows all the way down here, but let's duplicate that and plop that one there. But low-hanging fruit is life, in my opinion. You can make a lot with one mini. So those are what I would be looking for. Question, do we have any juicy fair value gaps that have been holding price up? So these like confuse the hell out of me. I'm sure this was some news scandal and they reclaimed all of it. I didn't even check to see if there was news, but that's definitely some kind of news scandal. Zoom in on that because I need to see what you're doing with your life. So what I'm looking for, signatures I'm looking for, it's got to be some sort of candle, fair value gap that again has been holding price up. They've used it for support. And if they bust through it, then, we can see some movement downward. And it can be something that's been reclaimed. So I like this one. Let's see. See what that looked like. So look at that guy. Let me clean that up a little bit. And that's a bullish fair value gap. The only thing I don't like about this one is like here, this is nice for using it for support. I'm going to draw that all the way over because they spent so much time hanging out in here. Hmm. Oh, I think there's like, oh, that's music. I thought it was like a weather report or something. Anyway, other reason why I like it is at the top of the range. They've used it as support, done a bunch of stuff around it. So it's also a really nice target to aim for as well if they're going to continue down. All right. So I'm salty that I cannot set my orders. Seriously? What is going on? Why are they grayed out? Man, that's really grinding my gears right now. Because part of the reason why I like using this thing is that I can set my orders and get comfortable doing so. Hmm. I think I might close this out and reopen it. So let's switch over to Thinkorswim, not Thinkorswim. Let's switch over to NQ. Whoops. Let me get that window up for you guys. Sorry about that. I'm gonna switch over here and then we're just gonna restart Thinkorswim. It should bring me right back to the same date. Yeah, so I'm rebooting it because I don't know why it's doing that. It's driving me nuts because I need to be able to put the order in. It's why sorry, I keep dropping the window. I need to be able to put the order in. Need to be able to put the order in. It's part of my fixing myself process. Because as it's forming here, I have the same feelings like when it's live during the week. So I'm gonna do like a quick clear cache and restart on the Thinkorswim and then log back in. So just bear with me for a second. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for that to come back up, we can take a look at opening range gaps. And I can just kind of share a little bit around how I like to use those once I see that the window's switched over. All right. So Thinkorswim is under maintenance. I understand that, but usually I can still use it. I don't know, maybe I need to pick a different time to do these. So annoying. Do what I want, not what you want, what I want, because the world revolves around me. Yeah. I'm like a child. I'm like a child who must get what she wants all the time. Now, let's be honest, right? We're all big kids, you know? The only time I want to be like adulting is when A, I'm paying bills, or B, well, when I'm paying bills. Bills can suck, but I do need to live somewhere, so, and I do need to eat. Oh, and I got myself a little treat. It's not as good as it usually is. This is the iced pecan crunch oat latte. It's a blonde espresso. All right, let's see here. Let's see if my Thinkorswim, which is back up, it's gonna behave itself. Yes, I can set my orders. Don't ask me what the heck the problem was, but I can set my orders. All right, let's switch back over to it now. What a weird behavior, though, guys. I don't know. Odd. All right. So, luckily for us, it does put us right back where we want to be. They took some liquidity there. Per my model, I need to see some sort of shift, and then we'll work on getting a second stage entry going. So we have 50-minute low they took out, some more 15-minute lows down here, some equal lows that we can work with, and I can set my orders now. I don't know why I couldn't set my orders before, but I can set my orders now. All right. Let me tell you something, Maya. The moment we become adults and we realize that we had it good as children, that is a pivotal moment in our lives. Because as kids, we're like, "I want to do what I want. Meh, 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 meh." And then you realize you don't get summers unless you're a teacher as an adult. And even then, they don't really get paid as much as as much as they should be getting paid. All right. So let's see if we get some movement. If we bust past this, I will consider it a continuation trade. So that's the end of that 50-minute candle. I know, Wolfie, your stuff would be telling you to take a short right now, right? Like your momentum setup, which by the way, is doing amazing for you. Like, keep going, my brother. You are on it. By the way, give Wolfie like codes of whoop whoops and you know badasses in the comments, man. He passed his combine. He's trading all nice and funded. That's what's up. Get your stuff, man. We're all out here trying to make some money. Let's do it. Let's get to that payout. Pay out, pay out, pay out. If I had like a Wolfie emoji, I would throw it on here. That would be funny. Yeah, whoop whoop for Wolfie for sure. All right, so what are we looking for? Let's look at the 15. Let's see anything juicy for us. Fair value gap wise, it's 9:46 on September 10th. I don't even know if I took a trade on September 10th. Let me look at my journal and see if I took a trade on September 10th. Ah, I take so few trades now, it's hard. I did not take a trade on September 10th, so this is not cheating in any way, shape, or form. Thank you, Maya. Yes, yes. Wolf. There's the wolf emblem I was looking for. All right, so we took some liquidity. It's some internal liquidity. I'd prefer if they rolled through and took something else down here and here, but who am I to judge? So, what do I want? I want this for a TP. I want this right there. Why do I like it? It's close to the midpoint of that bigger wick. I'm overarchingly bullish, some buy side liquidity there. And we're going to do this on a second stage entry for confirmation. Because if it's not confirmed, we got to continue going down. So I wonder, so this bigger fair value gap right here on this 1 minute, like they respected the hell out of it. Part of the reason why I almost never take those types of trades is because, it's because it's right at liquidity that they've taken. Like it has to, it had, part of my rule set is if I'm going to get my setup, for my initial setup, that is, liquidity must get taken. We gotta have a market structure shift, and now I'm testing out the secondary break of structure for an entry instead of the first one. But for a continuation trade, the entry has to be at some sort of fair value gap that they're respecting. One, meaning they haven't closed the body outside of the top, or if we're looking for bearish action. And two, there has to be liquidity below. If they've already taken the liquidity, I cannot get into the trade because that's too risky. You know what I'm saying? That's too risky. And yeah, like every strategy requires time in the market. And I don't mean like, you know, a week, 2 weeks. I mean months. Months, okay? You need months of time in the market to confirm that it works or not. Because sometimes the market conditions just aren't conducive to your model. You don't get enough of what you want for a trade. That's just how it goes sometimes. And that's okay. All right, so in this situation where we got all of this annoyance, I need a shift above here. They've manufactured this guy to make a shift, but for me, this guy needs to be shifted above. And then I would like a return and then a break again, and then an entry to go take this out. It doesn't mean that there's not more liquidity up there to be taken. What I really like is the buy side liquidity is at the midpoint of this wick. Grade your wicks. Grade your wicks. They are liquid gold for how price is moving, like areas where you can bounce from. If, for example, let's go to the daily on this day. Like if we're bullish, right? And it's something I try to keep everything like super duper like simple for my trading these days. I try so hard. Oh, I hate days like this where they opened here, pushed up, asshole manipulation bullshit, drop back down, push down, and then roll back, or whichever option, I don't know which one, and then dropped all the way back down, then push this way to end the day like that. I cannot stand days like this. For good, clean trades, you need days like this, and this, and this, and this. Not this. This is that bullshit you can't read because they're like manipulating up, manipulating down, and ending where the day started. So for folks who like to trade the trend and like days like this, it's like murder for us. It's just, what's the song? Murder, blood up on your shoulder. Be like today and I'll be kill like tomorrow. Like literally, that's the song that came to mind when I think of these. Okay, yeah, I'm Jamaican. Bask in it, enjoy it, love on it. Anyway, so bull crap. This is telling me it's continuing down. We ain't got no shift. We going down. So what that says to me now is either they give me a chance for an entry to go short, take out all this, dip into this little bit right here for a continuation. See, this is why the internal liquidity messes with me so much, right? Because look at this. We had the 830 run up, knocked everybody out, hung about, big shift down, Second stage shift. Why wasn't I thinking about taking a short hair? I always miss that. Like seriously, why? Because they took this. That's why. Every time. It happens to me every single time. Every time. Anyway, I got totally like um I got totally sidetracked because I was going to talk about grading your wicks. Like just do the 50, 75, and 25% and then see how price behaves around it, right? And just see where it stops. Because like on Friday, there is a lot of that usage of the daily wicks. And it's not all of them. Like you need to grade them and see which ones it's respecting. It doesn't mean it's going to respect that one or that one. You know, it might just be respecting this guy. I bet you anything, if you look at this big old wick, they probably hung out at the 25% ran, hung out at the 50% ran. It's actually a pretty sweet thing to just areas of interest to look at. And it's something that I've totally forgotten about. So here is where my silly self would love, like my old version of me would love to continue a continuation short from here. Love it. But what doesn't any of it? And this 15-minute candle looks like all kinds of dog poopy. So my initial desire is still the same. Either they come and take all of this out, tap this, and run back up, or they don't bother to come all the way down, give me a proper shift above here, give me a second stage break of structure, then we can go run for this. That's what I'd like. So I am waiting to see what we get. It is 9:54 on September 10th. And yes, I'm still able to put the stuff up. Oh, but so I'm gonna delete this because I'm not gonna lie to you. Like once they've taken the internal liquidity and then they start doing this, it confuses the heck out of me. And then it like makes me not want to take anything. So I don't know. Was there news this day? I don't even know. Let me check because that's kind of an important piece, isn't it? If there's news that day. Did we have news? By the way, did y'all like my singing? Was it super good for you? Oh no, don't mind me, man. I'm honestly very happy to be here, back testing. It makes me really, 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 really feel so much more confident during the week when I'm trading. Like if you're not doing this, you're missing out on working through a lot of your anxieties and fears and things. Okay, so there wasn't any news after the 8:30 PPI run up. So on days like this, when they take the news and then drop, they can pretty much do whatever they want. So now I just start looking at the higher time frames. Like, what is that session telling me it wants to do? Because the daily is bullish, but the session might be bearish. And that's why I'm looking for that second stage um, break of structure for an entry instead of the first, because that's like extra confirmation that I can get into the trade and it's going to do what I want it to do. That doesn't mean NQ can't come and smack me like the diva she is. God bless her soul. Did I just say that? Scratch that last piece. Anyway, because she's not A dead or alive. She's probably an AI though. What do you guys think? Is that weird? Probably a little weird. Whatever. Anyway, so this kind of stuff right here, I can do nothing with it. Literally nothing. It is either just gonna slow staircase and murder my brain hole because what the hell? But they took this, they made this high or low. If we break above, maybe they'll respect this guy and continue up. So let's see. Also, pick another day after this one. Um, that we can trade because I just randomly grabbed September 10th just to make sure to see if we could put the entry in. And I need to put the entry in. It literally must happen. Must put the entry in. By the way, Wolfie, is the title better? Does it make more sense? I used AI to pick it. It didn't bring more people though, so. Or do you think all the ICT traders are like sleeping in, sleeping in on the weekends? Also, some blue light glasses. What do you think? Do I look super cool and nerdy in glasses? I think I do. Learn to love it. I know I'm just all kinds of random. All right, let's look at this 1 hour. What do we got? What do we have? Right now we have got Bupkis for an entry. Let's look to the left. Were we? Okay, we're not at all-time highs. They did take out and oof, they stopped at that little wiki wick up there. I'm gonna do a little wick grading just for you guys. A little grading on this wick. It's not gonna be perfect, so don't judge me. But let's see where they stopped on this wick, okay? And 25%, 50, 75. All right. Well, let's zoom in on this juicy wick that we were utilizing here. Oh, look. They tapped the 50% and dropped like a stone. These wicks are consider them to be like fair value gaps, honestly, right? Like you can use them in the same way as you use a fair value gap. And Friday, they used the hell out of some daily wicks to run back up. I was very impressed, honestly. Very impressed. All right, so this 15-minute looks very, look at this candle. Are we still closing? Okay, yeah, we're waiting for 10 o'clock because ain't nobody got time for trying to trade this BS right here. And definitely don't trade on those types of candles. Those candles don't help you for nothing. They just beat you in the face and tell you what you should like it. What a weird thing to say. I know, I'm random. Don't tell anybody. Okay. 15 seconds on this candle. Come on, give me some options for this. All right, so what do we have? We got a 15-minute fair value gap here. I don't like this candle. So new 15-minute candle. What this even tells me, besides indecision, it's just being indecisive. It's rude. Hmm. I wonder if this will do anything for me. I don't know if I like what it's trying to tell me, but let's take a look. Because the other problem is, am I picking the right ones? Like, do I need to be more specific about where the fair value gap is? Because not every fair value gap is the same. It's not. It absolutely is not. Some will deceive you, but I like this one. Respect, bust through, a little respect, bust through, respect, dived up. Body still inside of it. This is a good one. So I know you want to YOLO long, but we gotta be very precise about this. I like this on the 15 minutes. I like that the bodies, we've stayed inside of it. I want to go long. So I want them to give me, I'm testing out the second break of structure. So with all of this additional lows taken, ah, I might be willing to allow for this break of structure and then see if they want to pop up. Just for testing purposes, I want to make sure I can actually put this here and see where my stop is. Yes, I can set the entries. So this is my template for a 210. Uh, was it 210 ticks? So since there's more of this fair value gap to fill in, I would see once they start getting close to this puppy, then I would start moving it up to like this order block. Like I don't need this whole run. I just need to know where it is in the grand scheme of things. So now we've got a nice shift above all of this. The entry for me needs to be at least 50% below the 50% point if they're going to come back down. So for my original shift, it was when it was here and this high was here. But we spent so much time in here, I'm okay with a shift here. But we're looking for a second stage entry, so we're not actually going to take that one. But my desire for a long um is definitely now more peaked after they didn't pop back all the way down. So now we're looking for that. So we have the first market structure shift here. I would like for them to come back down, maybe tap this, give me another like down close candle, and then break above that. Then that's the second stage entry that I'm trying to test. But I don't know if they're gonna give us that. If they're just gonna just run away. Cause she loves to do that too. She loves to run away and cute man. Like she's rude. She rude. I got a little sugar in me, so coffee doesn't actually do anything for me. It actually just makes me sleepy. Don't tell anybody. All right, so something to note, right? 933. So ICT talks about the first presented fair value gap that they can reuse that puppy for entries and things. And it's not the one formed on the 930 candle. It's the one that's formed right after it. So I've seen that one used like throughout the day for support resistance for different entries. So we're waiting. It's 10:04 and this is a nice run up. This looks real good for a continuation up for me. My initial desire for an entry would be here because of this fair value gap. I like it. I like that they've used it as support here. They busted through, used the midpoint as support, and then dropped, came back up, tapped the base of it, and then hung out for a bit, ran up, used it as support some more. So they've used it in both scenarios. They've used it as a bullish fair value gap to help price push up. They've used it as an inversion fair value gap for price to push down. And they've reclaimed it as bullish again and again here. So second stage for me, I'm thinking to myself now the question becomes in my head. They left a fair value gap down here, but they've spent so much time painting it and painting it, and painting it, and painting it. Are they going to come back down to it? Is my question now. Because if we push up past here, there's no fair value gap here. We're at the bottom of this bigger 1 minute fair value gap. Do we just continue up? What time is it? 10:05. Okay. And there are the macros to consider. So my preference here is that they drop and then tap. If they don't do that, I am compelled, once a body's closed above here, to take the long. It's another entry model that I like, but I don't like it as much because this exists. There's nothing, if they just wicked into it, and ICT calls that like the institutional entry model or whatever, is basically when they tap a fair value gap and drop. Like you can see it here, big fair value gap, they wicked into it and then dropped. If I'm saying it right. No, institutional order flow entry drill is when you have the order block, they tap the order block and run. They don't leave a fair value gap or anything. But this run up here, 50 some seconds left on that, makes me want to take the long from here and not wait. So let's see if I'm wrong. I like that my stop is just below this. If I'm wrong, I get tagged in. I don't like that second candle is like wicking, you know? I don't like that. Oh, come on. Don't do that. The only reason why I feel somewhat comfortable taking this is because they spend so much time down here. If they come back down, they're just being assholes at this point. Okay, so part of the reason why I don't like this as much is because this isn't like a full body. Like, I don't like that. That makes me massively nervous. A full body would have been better, and I should have waited for a full body to close above. So I'm probably going to get stopped out. Part of the reason why this entry with a fair value gap down here terrifies the crap out of me. Are you gonna like take my order? You're like sitting on top of it. Come on. Tag me in. So this should have tagged me, and I don't know what's wrong with it. But the other reason why I feel like I should take it is because they were hanging out here so much and painting. Like they shouldn't need to come all the way back up. Come all the way back down here. So if this works, this will just give me my 210 right up to where the buy side liquidity is. Also, we mocked out the wicks here. Remember what I said I don't like about this? Yeah, so that would have stopped me out. I don't like this because of the body. The body should be a nice big bold body. And so you could see I would have been stopped out. And that's part of the reason why like I have a hard time taking these when this exists. All right, so let's just put it back to where I'd want an entry now. And I don't know if so we can at least see it. So other scenarios, so I don't like taking that because this should be a nice big bold candle. A wick makes me mad nervous. So most times I wouldn't take that. But if we did this and now we're dropping again, what are you talking about? I said you take second stage entries, right? Second stage. I'm still not following my rules right now. Second stage entry. The second stage entry is not this yet. When they break above here, the second stage entry is here. Oh, goodness gracious. Gotta remember what I'm working with. Gotta remember what I'm working with because that gives me confirmation that they're gonna run up. And I'm also being a little dense, I think, right? Because technically this is the order block. In all of this BS mess, these two candles are the order block. So I should be thinking if I wanted the first stage entry, it should be here. It should be here. And that sometimes gets me because I don't notice, I don't pay attention because there's so much chop in here. It's hard for me to figure it out. But at the same time, I like the candle that's right by this thing. That makes me feel more comfortable. But we're here working out the second stage entry. So right now, what we have is sweep of liquidity. We have a market structure shift, and now I need a breaking structure above here for a push up. And what am I going to aim for? This high up here. Doesn't matter if it's my whole 210 or less than that. That's what I'm looking for. So that second stage will confirm that we're rolling back up, and that's it. That's it. Stay on task, Shakira. Stay on task. Because now I'm looking at what I would normally want to do. I'm looking at what I normally would want to do. So right now we're working through the ability to take that second break of structure entry, not the first. We already know you can take the first. We need to take the second. But if I was taking the first, with this push up and that shift, right here is where I'd want an entry. And I would want to see if they'd want to tap back into this fair value gap. Just tap the top of it and then run. That would be nice. 10, 11. And Wolfie, you know I can't YOLO long. Is Bob on here? Bob's better at the market buy YOLO. And it's not even a YOLO, it's a measured buy. Like he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's waiting for, but he hits that market button. Good on you for doing it. I gotta have a limit order. I have to. I have to. All right, so now I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Come on, push up. I'm trying to be patient. You gotta love how the vast majority of trading is about waiting. So much waiting. Okay, so with the secondary break of structure, got a tiny fair value gap right here. See if we can utilize that as an entry of some kind. So we're gonna see if we can get that second stage entry. Was that a bullish? Yeah, it was a bearish fair value gap. Let's see if we can't get that second stage entry. Remember what I said about these being the order blocks? Why? Because one, two, they're the low. This candle's the lowest for me, so that makes the most sense for an order block. And it's quite possible they didn't want to come all the way back down here. Leaving this open is a very bullish vibe for me. So now I just want to see them break above here. All of a sudden, we have this whole thing as an order block. I'm going to assume that they're going to want to use this as support and then run up. So come on, give me that break of structure, second break of structure, and let's go. Now, I don't know. Do I run the risk of them running away from me with this? I don't know. We'll see. But this bodes very well. If we break above that with a nice little body, I gotta see if my stop can like withstand this low. So one, these two candles from me are the order block because this one is below it. My entry should be here or at this to catch a little bit of this fair value gap. So let's see what we get. Now I'm working on that second stage break of structure. If we don't get it, oh, look at that. Now, if this busts in here and then runs, I'm trying to pay attention to the movement, to the candles, what they're telling me. If we do this, then I'm going to assume that they're not going to bother to come back in here if they bust above here. Because I've seen that happen, and now we're testing the hell out of it. Oh, this is why we're waiting on that second break of structure, man. Come on, what are we doing? Nice big up close candles, looking juicy. And now what are we doing? How much time's left? Okay, this 15-minute candle is about to close. Also, I try not to get into trades before the 5 and 15-minute candles close or right as they're closing because, that new candle has smoked me so many times. I'm offended. I'm offended by how many times it smoked me. Offended. So I'm trying to work through making sure that I can get the confirmation that my long is correct. That is all. That is all. Especially on days when it's been running in the other direction and I'm waiting for a sweep of liquidity and that's it. So right now, we've gotten the first market structure shift here. Well, technically, yeah, and they left these guys. They shifted above it just a smidge. And now I'm waiting for that second stage break. And once we close a candle, a nice juicy candle above here, I'm putting my order right there. Actually, I think I might put it at the order block right here. All right, come on, show me some strength. Go. I mean, don't run away. 10-16. All right, don't run away, but give me something juicy. Come on. We're working on this. We're working on this. We're working on this. We're forward to testing the hell out of this. I'm waiting for it to give us something. Why are we like, why are we doing all this, man? NQ, look at her. She's rude. Look at her. She's so rude. If anybody thinks NQ is rude, find an emoji and drop it in the chat that says you're rude. Or as Wolfie likes to say, eat shit, NQ. No joke. That cracks me the hell up, Wolfie, every time you say it. Because when she's being an ass man, when she's being a little diva, eat shit, NQ. Yes, okay. All right, so this candle right here, see this nice little break? If it continues, if it pushes up and then leaves that, I'll put my entry there. I love those. I love those. Those are like big signatures for me. I like to wick into those. They've spent a bunch of time inside of this little guy. Look, they tapped it. I'm hoping they didn't want to come back down. And that's it. How much time's left on this candle? Come on, show me some strength. Give me that secondary shift. I'm trying my best. Sometimes it's hard to not be like premature. All right, so 15 seconds. Come on, come on. Give me it. Give me it. Ah, that's a weak looking candle. I don't like it. Push up, man. It's just playing with my emotions, y'all. What the hell? That's why you gotta wait for the candle to close, right? It looked juicy, right? It looked juicy. It's not juicy anymore, is it? Now, wait for the candle to close. And that's why you gotta work with criteria. I'm waiting on a criteria. I haven't gotten it, so I can't get into a trade. And look at this BS. Look at the 15-minute candle. What are we doing? What is this candle? We're also we're also kind of wicking into this fair value gap here. It's looking really weak on the 15-minute candle. Really, really weak. Really? Bullshit. All right, I'm gonna discount this fair value gap because they're not doing anything with it. And what have I not gotten? A second break of structure. What does that tell me? Potentially, we just continuing down. Maybe. Part of the reason why I'm thinking that, if this 15-minute candle continues to close like this, we might go down. But can't count your chickens before they're hatched. Or could you? I don't know. Whatever. I have no chicken coop. Regardless, I have no second stage break. I still have the first stage set up down here, but I don't trust it. And not on this candle. Are you do you see this ugly ass doji? No, thank you. Don't take trades on doji candles. They're not helping you. They no help nobody. Okay, see? We gotta wait for candles to close. They have to close. Because what was a doji 2 seconds ago is looking juicy again. Come back another couple of minutes from now, it looks like crap again. It's it's really a crapshoot. It really is. All right, what do we got? Are we finally gonna give me a second stage break? Gonna give me up a nice push up. Gonna stop playing with my emotions. All right, so if we are gonna stop playing with my emotions, they are playing with us, man. Because I know you're all looking at this like, what the hell, man? See, days like this, I wish my stop was a little bit bigger because on days like this, I need my stop to be below this candle. You see how they came down to it but didn't take it? I need to be below this candle. What have we done? Nothing. How much time left on this 15-minute candle? Another 4 minutes? Still, we painting. We painting. Oh my God. Nazi, man, you could have just pushed up here. You didn't need to do all of this and mess with my feelings, man. I'm just over here salty now. I'm a salty Shakir. This is some grade A BS from the diva in Q. She diva in hardcore up in this B. Hardcore. Because what don't we have? A second stage break of structure. We don't have a break of structure. We have chop. Uh Hey Maddie, you gonna come hang out? Hi baby girl. Well, let's have a kitty break. So this is what she does, right? So you see that? This is what my baby does. She comes and she flops and she gets all and she's doing little biscuits. Can you see the biscuits? I don't know if you can see the biscuits. And she just wants love loves. Love loves. Hey, my girl. Look at her biscuiting. She's a biscuit. Come on, let's biscuit. What are you doing? I don't know why she likes to like both of them. They like to lay on their sides and then they like to like slow fall from whatever surface they're laying on. What's up, little girl? What you looking at me for? You're so cute. Why are you so cute? Oh, pretty girl. You're a pretty girl. Seriously? Okay. How much time's left on this 15-minute count? 3 minutes? Okay, it's days like this that really mess with my model. Like now I'm not comfortable with this second stage shift up. Why what are we waiting for? There's no more news. She needs her daily attention. Look at her. Look at her. Just gonna floppy flop. Who's a little flopper and biscuit maker? Look at those little pawsies. They're so cute. Who's a little pawsies? Oh, let's see. Do we need to cut your murder mittens? No, we don't. Let me take this off. Hot pad on my back, y'all. Hot pad on my back. Because when you get older, a hot pad is life. Best believe. Right, baby girl? A hot pad is life. Who's the Maddie? Who's the biscuit maker? Oh, he's sleepy. Look at the sleepy baby. Ugh. All right. 50-minute candle is looking a little bit more decent. I am going to note the middle of this. I don't like to have too many of these boxes up here, but just for funsies. Actually, that was too big. That is way too big. Let me delete that. Look at this. So it technically broke it here, but guys, it's way too shallow. And now I don't trust it. Right? Right? My little biscuit maker? My little cutie biscuit maker? Who's a little baby? You gonna go to sleep now? So these girls are about 6 months old at this point. My little babies. My little babushkas. All right, I'm gonna wait for this 15-minute candle to close. This is just nasty. But I'm being silly because they're using that Fair Value Gap still. Oh, look at that. That's so mean. They tapped into that tiny little crack and now they want to run up. Okay. 50-minute candle's about to close. They find a little bit of strength and now we got a new candle. So now we have a second stage shift. Where is my order block? I'm going to try right here. Okay. This is the body of the top of this order block. I'm gonna see if I can get it. I'm hoping they don't want to drop below here. And we're now expecting something at the top of this. So let's see. Oh, little groomy. So if part of the reason why I don't take these trays half the time is because my stop stops here. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. It is mean. It's mean. So I don't know if they're gonna come back. Oh, that 50-minute candle still got 4 minutes left in it. My bad. I can't count, y'all. But like I said, if I could trade micros, I would drop this to half and set my stop under here instead to run up. This looks like an institutional entry order, entry, whatever. Tap and go kind of situation. It makes me really, really want to set my entry right here and go because I think it's going to run and I might not get tapped in after all of this BS because this candle ran up 20 seconds left on that. We're just going to wait. What are you looking at? What are you looking at, my baby? You're so cute. You got something in your eye. Let me see. My little babushka. Hey. She be like doing a little too much sometimes. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, something that really irritates me too is the simple fact that I don't like trading before. Just look at this little range. I don't like trading before 10:30. Like the half hour times like really get me. And let's see, my entry is not at like the 50%. That doesn't always work. It is respecting the hell out of this wick. So let's see, my stop's below the 50%. So let's see if we can get in here without getting our booties locked up. This tells me it might not want to come back down because we're tapping into this wick here. But I'm gonna leave my entry where I said it because I try not to chase price in my mind. That's what I think to myself. Don't chase price. If I'm being completely honest with you, like I want my entry right here, but I'm trying my best to use the top candle. After all of this mush, if we bust above here, I'll set my entry here instead because I don't like here. I don't. But we got a minute and change for. Oh, look at that. She's grabbing me. She's doing biscuits on my hands. Look at the biscuits. It's so cute. I can't. The cuteness is unreal. So this makes me, those like death candles when they drop and like tap you in and it looks like insanity when they drop, it like really makes me super nervous, right? So they just tap like the 50% and it looks like I'm about to get my arse handed to me. Let's see. Because remember what I said, like for my stop, I want it to be below here, but I'm trading one mini. Does my stop save me? Usually that's a big fat no when they've dropped this far into it. But for whatever reason, Thinkorswim is not tagging me into these. But at least they're letting me put it there. So yeah, there I go, getting stopped out on that. But what did I say? Don't take trades on um when the handle's about to close and not before 10:30. So what did they do? And I don't know why it's not tagging me in, but at least you can see where I would have wanted an entry. And I did say why I was nervous about said entry and what would normally, if I could, trade micros. And the reason why I don't trade micros on Thinkorswim is because they charge the same amount round trip for the micros as a mini. So whereas I pay $7.30 per round trip trade on the micros, if I wanted to trade 10 of them, that'd be $73 round trip, which is ridiculous. So that's a big fat no. But remember what I said about, hold on. So remember what I said about I wanted my entry to be at the 50% of that range? At minimum, I should have just moved it there. Look at that. They dropped below the 50%. And if I'm being honest with you, most times I put it at the 70 and go. But did they tap it? The 70%? Let me see. So we can see my first entry would be crap. But like I said, if I could trade micros, I'd put this at 5 and put my stop under here and then set my entry where I have it now and call it a day. This retracement back into this space, perfectly acceptable, perfectly normal. If I could actually have my stop all the way down here, I'd be in this trade and basically still be in a pretty decent space. It's still pretty bullish. We've got two-stage shift. So if further confirmation would be if once we bust above here and start moving up. So sometimes, especially on days like this, when there's all this chop and they took so much time to get to this point, I might wait for them to come back down and see where they want to stop and then set my entry like in this little break area here to go up. But if I were to just YOLO, well, not YOLO, but as you can see, my first entry would have been stopped out On days when it's super choppy like that, it's kind of an obvious, you know, the stop needs to be all the way down here. But I have a strict 37 tick stop requirement. So a lot of times I really should just, set it lower down so I can get at least to 75% of the entry. So something like I consider all the time. When it's not choppy like this, then the probability of them digging this deep into it becomes a lot less. Oh, remember when I said that I was gonna watch this Fair Valley Gap here and see how they utilize it. So maybe I should not have removed it so quickly because they came right back down to it. And in this chop, it makes perfect sense. So in this chop, I could have set it at the body and then look at that. That would have been fine for an entry, especially since they like spend so much time around it. And then my stop would have been a little bit lower. So that would have been better. And then I could aim for like the body of the wick or this up here. So the buy side liquidity. But as a third stage entry, this little break right here is not a bad play. But that doesn't mean that she's being an asshole. Look, 15-minute candles. When it's choppy like this, man, it's so hard for me to like see here. Yeah, it's so hard for me to want to take anything because the chop. But that's like where the entry should be. And it looks like they're giving us lots of opportunities to get in, but I don't like this. This is a disgusting day. All right, you guys have a different day you want to test out? This one is driving me nuts. It's 10:34. Still plenty of time for them to move up, and they might actually still move up. They're just gonna be assholes about it. For realsies. But yeah, I should have kept this fair value gap out because once they busted past it, like so, setting an entry here is not a bad play. I was a little premature in removing it because on a choppy day, they can absolutely come back. But just remember, don't be like me with my super strict stop. Like put your stop where it makes sense and you'll live longer in the trade. If you have to like reduce your how many micros you're trading, by all means do that. Cause like I would take this with 5 micros and put my stop under here. Let's stretch, baby girl. Give me a hug. Who's my little girl? You gonna flop again? Oh, you're my little flopper. You floppy floppy. She's like Simba, baby. Who's my little lap kitty? Who's my little lap kitty? Who's a pretty girl? No, 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 no. Flop right here too. Nope. The other baby is not here. Because she just lets me. Hashtag, yeah, she wants my attention all the time, y'all. Look at this. Look at this baby right here. All right, but look at this price action. Even though it was choppy, even with that, we waited for, like I said, my first setup would have been knocked out for sure. And we waited for, should have kept the fair value gap in here. You done? You done? Done being a cute baby? You done being a cute little baby? No, you're not done being a cute baby. You're gonna go to sleep now? Who's a good girl? Give me that belly. Give me that belly. Bye. Sometimes I do that so she runs away. See, now this behavior for me makes it less high probability. But we're coming up on because it's 10:36. The market likes to move around 10:45, 10:50 if it's going to do it after the half hour mark, in my opinion. So check your charts. Don't just listen to me. Check your charts. Go see what happens like at 2 after 2:30, 3:30. Like after um power hour and all that jazz. Like go check it out. It's It's pretty kind of telling. The only thing I care about is time and price. By the way, I didn't know kitties grabbed their favorite toys and walk around with them. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen, like the cutest thing. All right, so we're gearing up 10:37. This chop right here, if we can stay respecting the top of this thing, then we're okay. This 50-minute candle needs to close with a body pushing this way. If it does not, then this trade is pretty much trash in my mind. And when it does close like that, if it closes nice and bullish up here, I'd be moving my stop right to here, and then I take my hands off, and let's see if they come up and give me more. But all of this hesitation, we're hanging out at the midpoint, wick, 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 nobody. Ugh, that makes me massively nervous. The only thing that I'm as a secondary entry option now that we've pushed up here, an entry here is okay, but in this chop, it's like a nightmare waiting on it. It's like a nightmare. Ooh, it started raining, y'all. Just drizzling for now. Oh, goodness gracious. Like my confidence in this trade is dying now because it hasn't moved. So this is where my 37 tick. So for me, once it tapped here and ran, it needed to push above here. The fact that it didn't do that, my confidence in the trade drops like exponentially. And these candles are not making me feel comfy at all. They've run roughshod over this fair value gap, so it's not one of my favorites. So this is like that second stage entry, but it's a very ugly day for it. Very ugly day. Very ugly day. So I have the luxury to put it where I think is a good entry. But this behavior, we haven't made any higher highs. Not juicy. Not juicy at all. This candle, 50-minute candle, is about uh, still has what, like 5 minutes left in it. But this is that BS I'm talking about. When it's choppy like this, you get a lot of this crap. It's marking time, it's knocking people out. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're trading micros, your stop needs to be here. It has to be here because not here, but here. That's technically what would be considered like a protected low. I don't have the luxury of giving away that much money to the markets, that much tuition. So my stop is 37 ticks, and I hope to God it works. On a day like this choppy day, the probability is much higher that I'll get stopped out. But my preference at the moment is we have this singular fair value gap. They've run past it. We've been wicking it. We still haven't closed any kind of a body outside of it, and we're coming up on 1040. So I'm hoping that the 1045, 1050 macro will get us some movement in this direction. Otherwise, we are just in limbo. Yeah, the chop is the worst. It's absolutely the worst. So this 15-minute candle has 4 minutes left in it. It needs to push up and close a body. It needs to close a body strongly in this direction. And more importantly, I don't like that it's doing this close below this wick. It's not juicy. It's not juicy at all. It needed to have pushed up more. So the probability of the second stage entry working out is now, for me, super 50-50. Super 50-50. But again, the candle needs to close. But look at that 50-minute candle. It's just sitting in the same place. It's sitting in the same place, mocking me. So, as Wolfie would say, eat shit, NQ. Eat shit. Salty as hell. So, for all you lovely micro prop firm traders, put your stop here. Okay? For that second stage entry, put your stop here. and reduce on these choppy days, reduce your risk, reduce the amount of contracts you're trading. Like me, I'm willing to take, I'm trading a live account. So if I lose my 180, I lose my 185, sorry, 185. And man, I got slipped like a mother on Wednesday. 185 slipped to 205. I'm like, rude. Market's rude. The only decent thing about this trade right now is again the wicking in the little fair value gap. Like this little guy is working hard. It is an inversion fair value gap because it's a bearish fair value gap they're using for a flip purpose. It's an inversion fair value gap that should be keeping price down, but it's helping hold it up for the moment. 2 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. I don't trust it. We don't have a wick above this one. We don't know. Trying to understand price action is like some days when it's choppy, man, it's like some bullshit. It's some bullshit. So what do you think, guys? Should I pretend I'm trading micros and put my stop here? No, because that's not how I'm trading. This is the setup that I'm working with. A lot of times I would so ICT says that the 70%, let me see which one of these gave the better 70% range. I think technically not that one, but this one, the 70% range, so that low to that high. The other thing I like to do is put my entry at the 70.5. Excuse me. At the 70.5 like sweet spot. And then make sure my stop is below the 79%. Oh, what do we have? 50 seconds on this 50-minute candle. Do we get some movement in this chop? So when it's choppy like that, I don't know if I want to try for, yeah, so they dropped at the 70% and then, took off. My rule in this scenario is once we trade above here and we move with some alacrity, what do we have in this space? They have a tiny little break here that they're nipping into right now. They nipped into it. I want to see them run and leave this choppy. 10 seconds or less on this 50-minute candle. Close strong. If it closes strong, we might get lucky and it continues up. But look for these little tiny like telltale signs. They tapped into it. If they run past it, I like that. If Thinkorswim had, elected to drop me into the setup, it would have been nice, but they didn't. So new 50-minute candle. Don't panic. They sometimes like to drop in the opposite direction and then run the other way afterwards just to scare people. Something I'm trying to remind myself of. So what are you going to do 15 minutes? So we dropped a little bit. If you run up, so I would have been like, in this scenario, I would have been tagged in, almost stopped out here. We've moved up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, my desire to move my stop up to here would be like super duper strong. But I can't move my stop until we've taken this high out and pushed up with some alacrity. It does look very weak. That 15-minute candle. Part of the reason why I'm concerned is that I wanted this wick when it formed it to be above this one. And it is not. It's also part of the reason why I want to move my stop here because I just don't like it. I don't trust it. It looks like crap. Like for a push up, I want to see higher wicks. But I do like the body. So let's let that 5-minute candle figure itself out. Come on, move up. Do that thing where you fake people out to drop and then run up. But we're still in the chop. We haven't left the chop. Of course, we pick a weird day to try the second stage entry. But what have we learned though? Like what's important about this setup? Placement for the stop. See if there's a fair value gap that's formed in here that price is somehow respecting. So for the 10 o'clock time frame, ooh, did I miss one? I think I missed it. I think I missed the one that they were using as support. It's not this one, but because I was looking for the second stage entry, this one was the better one. Oh my God, I can't believe that. Dang it. Look at that. Look at that baby that they used as resistance to drop, busted through like it was going out of style. Love that. And then wicked into and then ran up. An entry from here, I would have been fine. No muss, no fuss. But look, we running up now. All right, so for this entry, we would have been tagged in, dealt with a whole bunch of bullshit. And because we would have been tagged in here, dealing with all this crap, 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 crap. So we busted above here. Let's wait for that candle to close. I would be moving my stop to just above my entry and take my hands off the wheel. And now my general hope is that we're going to keep going up. Keep going up. If I get stopped out at this point, that's fine because it's a choppy day and they can do that. They can do it. It's their modus operandi to do that. And look at what they're doing. Do we need a reason to come back down here? No, you spend all of your time wicking people out, messing with them in this spot, you dang diva. Go. Nothing irritates me more than like waiting for a setup, entering it, following my criteria, and then NQ just wants to be an asshole, knocks me out for like $40, and then she runs for like 50 points. And I'm like, I just want to give her the finger, like, you know? But I'm also trying to work on that emotional thing. I don't know if it's like, if I should like repress my emotions in this moment, but this is some weak sauce bullshit. This 15-minute candle needs to push up with some alacrity, but because it's a choppy ass day, you're not gonna get you're not gonna get any clean movements from NQ. You're not gonna get it. She's gonna be an asshole the whole time. So remember, since it didn't tag me and I can't move my stop around, but my stop would be right above here, just above break even, just to hold, pay for them that $7.30 fee for this trade. Because now it's just a free trade for me. Yay! But she's an a-hole. A-hole. After this, let's pick a different day. It is weak. It is weak as hell. It's a weak, weak, weak morning. It's 10:50. So now I want that 10:50 macro to run. Let's run. Let's run. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, macros. You can do your job. 10:50 to 11:10. Go. You can do it. Show some strength, you dang dirty bastard. Go. I feel like I should do Gangster's Paradise or something while we're waiting for this. You know? I'm getting sassy. Because NQ's being a diva. Come on, leave this range. Leave it. Ugh. This 15-minute candle is weak as hell. Well, I think given this lame ass choppy day, let me just put my cursor where I would get stopped out. Right here. I get stopped out right there, just a little bit above it. As long as there's like $7 or $10, I'm green on the day. Break even. Money's money. Just coming down being an asshole, man. Unnecessary. Though, I should also note, this is an order block right here. That wick is lower than this one and that one. For me, that's a nice juicy order block. It should not come all the way back down here. That's why I would put my stop right just above it. We wicked into it here, so I'm not wanting it to come touch nothing. I gotta go eat dinner and then go singing some karaoke, but amazing back testing today. Mad love for you guys. Bye, Whoopi. Enjoy the karaoke. Have fun. It's Saturday. Have a good time. My day is just getting started. Oh, look, I'm about to get stopped out on this stupid choppy day. Hey, I love that mayonnaise. Seriously, this is an awful, disgusting day. Let's, after this, after I get stopped out in this imaginary spot right here that I have my cursor at, let's check the PM and see if it was any better, if we got any better movement after 2 o'clock. And then let's pick a new day. Because I like the second stage entry business, but not this. This, of course, I'd have to pick the most annoying day on the planet to try it. And at least Thinkorswim is letting me put the order in so you guys can at least see where I'd want my order and whether or not I would get stopped out. But let's say I got, yeah, so there, right there, I would have been stopped out of this trade. And if I'm being completely honest with you, all of this bullshit right here would make me want to go short. It would, but I'm not getting into this chop. So let's switch to the PM real quick and see if anything juicy showed up. So let's take a look at 145. Oh, let me put 13. Aha, 13.45. Because now I want to go short because it's just weak sauce in the morning. Oh my God, would the short have worked? Oh my God, it would have. So did you just see that, guys? I was like, they failed to move up. So a short now makes more sense. If I'd waited around, but it was almost like to 11 o'clock. Let's see. Oh yeah, we could have shorted the hell out of that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, what a pain. Cause all that chop, they're not trying to, and they didn't move once they pushed up. Man, let's get up out of here. It's time to go. Time to go short. I would have taken this, gotten a little push, and then been stopped out. But again, I like fair value gaps where they've been tapping it to this bigger one. That this right here, when they tapped it, ran, took it again, dropped down below. I wouldn't have liked this as much because I want them to tap into this order block. It's not like the model I'm looking for, but this, once it ran up, tapped it, stayed at the 50%, that short right there, like once it busted past that low, I would have put something here, not gotten tagged in and missed all of that, but that's kind of what I would be looking for. Hi life, what up, my dude, my person? How you doing? Sorry, I just realized I shouldn't assume your gender. My apologies. I am doing awesome. I am in full backtesting mode. I could not sleep, so I had to abso-freaking-lutely come on here and test out what my brain was thinking. So I'm thinking about, so I traded the 2022 model, and I'm thinking about switching my entry to the breakup structure after the market structure shift, after the initial market structure shift. So I am testing that out along with fair value gaps that can become inversions and reclaimed as options. Because I got some juicy trades like after FOMC on an inversion. Juicy trade, man. That thing dropped 65 points in 3 minutes after that. I was like, yeah, I love trading after 2:30 on FOMC if it's actually moving. How's your weekend going, man? Oh, hey, hi Live. Do you want to join the Discord? It's just me, Wolfie, and Bob in there just talking trading stuff during the week. Okay, guys, so I had spec this sell side out earlier. So we're checking the PM because the morning was a shit show of gross grody like grodinesses. And they took out what looks like, oh, hey man, as long as whatever you're doing makes you money, I don't care. I don't care if it's ICT, it don't matter what it is, as long as it makes you money. Oh yeah, I can add you if you want to give me your like thing. I can add you, or I can send you the link. I had posted a link here. Um, Okay, guys, so this is looking like we took some liquidity out. This shift is not my favorite, but it did occur. We jump back down into this fair value gap. There's none down here. No, what time is it? I set this at 1:49 on the 10th. Yeah, a lot of folks want Maya to hook up that Discord. It's gonna be a good time for you for folks. Oh man, but the only thing about like bigger Discords, it just feels like too many people and I can't like focus and talk to folks about trading as much. Yeah, man, if your strategy makes you money, that is your strategy because guess what? There's a ton of great folks out here teaching. Bob uses the orb. Wolfie has his own custom thing that's working really well for him. None of that's ICT. And they're making money. So I don't really understand why people acting stupid like, oh, ICT this or whoever that and blah blah blah. Man, as long as it works for you, I am like you do you, boo. Why? Because you need to be able to see what you need to see in the market. Like if you see something real easy, that's your setup. If you're trying to force somebody else's stuff, it's like trying to push a, square in a triangle or something like that. Weird words, man, weird words. All right, so for this scenario, we had a rough time trying to go long in the morning. They took out the London lows here. They took out the lunchtime lows already. Well, you just joined, so you missed all the kitty time. You missed all the Maddie cuddles and purring and the biscuits she was making. Uh, oh yeah, yeah. Let me grab a fresh link for you, High Life. Let me grab a fresh link for you. Now I just gotta remember where the link is. Ah, create an invite. Invite friends to. Yep. Okay. Copy. All right. Let me pop it in here. And we have some fun in here. There you go. There's a link right there. All right, so I wanted to see if the PM on the September 10th works for this testing. If not, we're gonna pick another date. So if you've got a day that you want to backtest, drop it in the chat and we can switch over to there. It's about to be 2 p.m. on September 10th. We're using the Thinkorswim app with the on-demand feature which lets us test out the any particular day's price action as though we're trading it. So that's what's up. Okay. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you, like the PM doesn't really work for me a lot of times. I find that especially if the day's been pretty choppy, just close out and come back a better day? Oh hey! Howdy howdy. Yay! Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so the fun thing is on the Discord, like Bob and I tend to stream, especially if we're gonna do any trades. So we can just talk and talk our trades stuff out, give motivation, all that good stuff. Um so I try to do that unless work gets real crazy. All right, well so the morning was shit on the 10th. The second stage entry that I was trying was really, really gross and choppy, so fire button for that. But once it failed, the short was a great idea. But only after they like closed this thing properly. I don't know if this would have given me a bunch. My entry, I would have wanted an entry here. This would have been better, but this is at lunchtime, so I usually don't tend to get a lot out of the lunchtime setup. So the only thing that worries me is whenever I like specify Southside Liquidity. They take one and the other one's like super close by. My preference is that I want them to take it first. I want them to take that first for a shift. But this day has been a weirdly choppy ass day. Wolfie is the big bad. That's the big bad wolf there. And of course, Dark Angel is moi. Moi, 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 moi. This is gonna be fun. Oh man, that is a good gif, Wolfie. Y'all can't see it, but it's in the Discord. Now, if they roll back into this space, part of my reasoning for this sort of setup, we're still waiting on that second stage shift, right? This is kind of a weak shift for me, but it is technically a shift. Why? Because this candle's high is a little bit above that one and definitely above that one. So that's a shift. It's not my favorite. So I hardly take these types of setups. And a lot of times I really miss some good trades when the next like higher time frame liquidity had this so close. Look at that wick. And they didn't take it. So I don't like that as much. I have some home renovation going on after. Actually, I'm going to be around more. Nice. Hey, congrats on the home reno stuff. As long as it's stuff that you're excited about and looking forward to, that's what's up. Yeah, and don't worry. Like it's a safe space. Come when you want to. Ain't nobody like forcing nobody to show up. But I really find that I've actually really enjoyed um learning and watching Bob trade his orb setup and then Wolfie's super measured strategy that he's been trading. Like he just passed his combine with that. And I'm like so proud just following your process and your method and sticking to it. I know that's boring, but I want trading to be boring. I need it to be boring. I need to just come in, wait for my setup, see it, you know? Hell no. Who's got time to take roll call? He said, this ain't school. Come when you want. Talk about your setups. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, what my biggest thing is journal. Like, I share my journal with folks, and part of the reason why I've adjusted my trading process to what it is now is because I'm journaling. Like the last three um losses I've taken have been on days when my bias has been bullish, but that day was a bearish day. So now I'm back testing, taking the second stage entry on a long instead of the first as my added confirmation that they want to continue up. That doesn't mean that like on days like the 10th where it's like super choppy, that it's too hard to journal. I mean, so every person for themselves on the journaling thing, but for me it just helped me figure out what I was doing wrong. So like let me like nip over to my journal real quick and like I'm literally tracking every single trade that I take, like every single trade. And I've been trading live since January 2024. And every single trade I've ever taken, I have journaled. So you see, I have a 2024. I'm replacing this 2025 tab with this 2025 journal tab because I'm now grading my setups. I wasn't grading them in 2024, but I'm grading them now. So as of the beginning of September, actually August, sorry. So in August, I decided that I'm only going to take A plus setups on. Technically, I decided to do that on July 30th, and I said to myself, I'm only going to take my A plus setup, and that's it. That's it. So you see, on the 30th, I took a loss in the morning, and then I took a nice win just taking my A plus setup, and then I don't know, I fell off the wagon a little bit and took a couple B's. But if you look at September, I have kept to just A's, just A, because the A plus setups, they save me. They save me from myself. They save me from myself. And you see the losses, you see the break evens, you see the wins. It doesn't matter. Just take my A plus setup. All I'm trying to do right now is refine that. And, adding to that, like visualizing where everything is so helpful for me. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but it helps me like tracking my win rate. And Bob was showing me that I think Top Step, like most of the prop firms, do that for you like naturally. They auto journal all your trades. They have calendars, your win rate, all that stuff. I don't trade a prop firm, so I have to do it myself. So yeah, I I have a journal that tracks my monthly returns, my average wins over the year, right? 2025. So this is the journal for 2025, all the trades I've taken for the year. This I've just added this weekly just to get a feel for how I'm doing each week because I'm trading less. I'm trading less and making more in my mind. Like less is more. And part of that like shift in my mindset has literally put me in a place where when I take a trade, I'm only taking 3 trades a week. So when I take a trade, I'm looking for 50 points in our return, right? Win or lose, 50 points. And then if I'm losing, it's about $185, 37 ticks, one mini. You just have to have rules. So for me, if I wasn't journaling, like part of the reason why I switched over here just to kind of share is like everything above here is like a C. Look at this. It's a C or a B trade. And that's why I'm in drawdown. Like I'm not taking my A plus setup. If I was taking my A plus setup, I would be in a much better place because even just for the month of September, even August, like August, I dragged myself out of drawdown, but ended the month $45 up. I'll take it. September, everything's only been an A setup. I've taken what? One win. I call these break evens. And so 2 decent wins, the rest were losses and 2 break evens. I'm still up in September, what? I'm still up in September $1,000 because I'm aiming for bigger wins. So if I wasn't journaling, I wouldn't be able to make that adjustment. I wouldn't be able to see what I needed to see. I know it's boring. It is absolutely, positively boring as hell. But if I'm going to get anywhere with this and I'm going to get where I need to go, I gotta journal. Anyway, let me get back to the charts here. All right, we're gonna pick a different day. This PM is acting like it needs to go jump in the lake and F off. I started floating. Last couple of years was losing again. I know that journaling's poor. So we'll try again after October. Hey, do what you gotta do, my friend. Do what you gotta do. Because trading for me is like financial freedom. It really, really is. It really, really is. Because when I go to my when I get up and I log into work, I know every 2 weeks exactly what my paycheck's gonna look like. When I'm trading, I don't know. The sky's the limit, or I could lose everything. But the opportunity is there for me to do whatever I want if I have the discipline to get there. So I'm just gonna work on that discipline. It's just that simple. Yeah, yeah, I'd be happy to share the template if you guys want it. I actually borrowed it from I can share the template that I can give you mine if you want. And then there's official Lynn's. I grabbed the template from her too, so I can share that one if you guys want that. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure I can do that. So let me clean it up and give you and grab a version that I can that doesn't have content in there. Like I put like some sample content, and then I'll drop it in the Discord, and you guys can just grab it if you want to use it. But if you are, trading like a prop firm, like they give you the whole journaling shebang. Bob shared his version, and it was pretty cool. All right, let's pick a different day. Let's pick a different day. I need a less choppy, boring ass day. All right, let's grab. All right, so we're in September. Let's see. You guys have a day you want to trade, test out? Was there a day in we haven't hit October yet. Was there a day in September that you guys really wanted to sink your teeth into? And I also like to pick a day I didn't take a trade too. So let me also look at my journal for September and see what days I did trade in September. So I don't pick any days I took a trade. Okay, so nothing on the first few days of September. So I can do anything the first, second, third, unless it's a weekend or something. All right, so let's go back to earlier in September. So I took a trade on the 5th. So I don't usually trade on Mondays. So let's test out some Monday action. Now let's do Tuesday. Let's do Tuesday. And let's go to the morning time frame. Let's go to 9:35 so we can have a few minutes to prep. And let's go. And let me delete some stuff. And let's auto zoom and auto zoom. And let's take a quick look at the daily candle for that day. And let's see if there's any news. Important things to recognize. Was there any news? Zoom in on that puppy. Okay, so that's a shitty looking day. Damn it. Then I pick another crap day. Seriously, these crap days are driving me batshit. Excuse my French. Let's clean up some of this stuff down here. Because technically when I go back to my live account, I'm gonna see all this stuff. Okay, all right. Deleting all of this. We don't need any of this to mess with our vibes. All right, so overall, I am still very bullish. If we look to the left, we are still going up. We have not broken any structure for continuation down, so this is where I'm thinking. Let's see what we have on the 15-minute to work with at this time. Oh, it's one of those days where pre-markets, they just dropped and ran away from us. What a pain. These days drive me nuts. All right, let's see what liquidity they've run through before we start thinking about what we want to do. So let's push this to the side and let me recap my normal setup. So let's go to the 1 hour so I can see the lows to the left. Juicy, juicy. All right, so we have this piece of liquidity, some sell side right here that they took. And this one, oh, they took both of them. Beautiful, beautiful. That makes me a lot more comfortable. I'm gonna delete this one since they took that one. Nice. So I am inherently bullish on this entire time frame, this entire so sell side liquidity. I'm inherently bullish. So they took all this juicy liquidity. There's probably some more down below, but I don't care about that. They've taken like some major liquidity. So what I'm waiting for now is a shift in structure. And also we're looking for any fair value gaps that have acted as support in all of this. Sometimes it's hard to find, especially when they've dropped this much and you can't really see to the left. So what do we have? On the 1 minute, we have a shift here. So for me, I'm looking for that second stage. And we're testing out the second stage because when they're dropping so much, I need that second stage break of structure, right? So first we have shift, sweep of liquidity down here, market structure shift here. I want them to give me a form like another low here and then break above it one more time. That will give me a secondary option for an entry. So let's see what we get. All right. So no, normally I'm also looking at NQ. Let's see if this thing is still letting me, yes, it's still letting me set my entry. So we're gonna wait. Oh, let's see if there's any news. I did not check. Let's make sure to stay ahead of the news. So second day in September, there was news at 10 o'clock. Okay, so no matter what happens, I would not be taking this because there's news at 10 o'clock and it was red folder ISCM. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit and let's push to 10 o'clock so we don't have to wait 20 minutes for that to show. So let's go to 10 o'clock and just deal with the news and see what we can get after that. So let's go. Oh no. So remember what I said about second stage entries? Second stage entries. They gave that to us before 10 o'clock. Dang it. But I don't know if my fear of certain news is just messing with me. But remember what I said about a second stage entry? Like they made a low here and then they ran above it. Like I at this point would have put an entry here. My question to myself now becomes, would my stop have saved me? That is a big fat no, okay? Big fat juicy no. But like I said, I wouldn't have taken that away because of the blasted news. All right, liquidity that we're looking at. Liquidity that we are looking at. Initially, we have some juicy equal highs right here from me. So we got some buy side liquidity right here. They can continue all the way up if they want. But part of what I'm trying to understand on days like this, especially, I wish there wasn't news because then I would have felt more comfortable. But I don't technically like all this wicking. Was there something over here that I could have used instead to help me in this place where price was being respected? That feels kind of weak, that one. I like it if it's something that's been used earlier, but this one hadn't been touched yet. So once it's not been touched, it's not really as interesting to me for an entry. So what we're forming here on the 15-minute is more like what I'd like to see. So we've tapped into it. We're dropping from it. Now my question becomes, should I be looking at this as a shift in structure and then a second stage drop? And no joke. All right, Wolfie, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. We're almost coming up on the 3 hour mark for me. So I'm probably gonna stop soon um, after this day's stuff, but I'll see what else I can get. So 10 o'clock news ran up, didn't really give us anything to work with. And there's still some buy side all the way up here. So sometimes I often wonder if I should, part of the whole fair value gap usage thing that I'm not great at is when there's not like an order block or if it hasn't been in use for long enough. Like that, in that scenario, it makes me really, really nervous. Hey, Maddie, you come in? The kitty has returned. She is up. This is the baby. No, she needs to learn not to get on my laptops. So this is the Maddie. Maddie wants to run around, so okay, baby. What's up? We're in flop mode. We got a little flop. So high lev, just so you can have the kitty time. There's the kitty flop. And that's the Maddie. Maddie likes a lot of rub wubs. Bang! That's actually my favorite thing they do. She She is so funny. She is ridiculous. Like she'll lay on the side of something, stretch out, and fall off of it on purpose. Hmm. So it's after 10 o'clock. We ran up before the news. The news did a bit of a push up, swept some stuff. 50-minute candles looking a little bearish. I wonder, and I'm bullish, obviously. We've shifted. Are we going to hold this? Are we going to pop down? Sometimes the silver bullet fair value gap eludes me. Oh yeah, we are their little slaves. Let me tell you something. I know absolutely that I am her slave, her and Sasha. Like feed me, pet me, clean my poop, you know, give me snacks, and I'll come and give you love whenever I feel like it. But Maddie, she gives a lot of love, and Sasha, like when she's ready, I mean, super adorable. Not gonna lie, I'll show you a picture. So it's 10 something. So I'm wondering how this fair value gap is gonna work for us. I have a hard time, I have a hard time taking. So look at this. This is what I get most days, right? Let me see. This is what I get. If I sit on the couch and I'm watching a show or some anime, Sasha's in front and Maddie's by the legs, and I get so much love loves. So much love loves. So, they pay me in cuteness. They pay me in lots of cuteness. So much cuteness. It's so adorable. I get kitty brain though. I really do get kitty brain. Okay, so we ran up. There's no 50-minute high here. If I'm being honest with you, for this a continuation high, I would love to see them break above that and give me something juicy. I would. So let's mock that out. Because part of my process is they have to have swept some liquidity. And then I'm testing out the second stage breaker structure, which I technically missed here, but I would have been stopped out with my poor little stop. My stop is not cannot take this. I might not have actually taken it because of this fair value gap here, because I like to see them come back down into these guys and tap them and then go. That's my favorite scenario, but somewhere I can't. Winter and I are not friends. This 50-minute candle can go jump in the lake. Let me tell you something. It can go jump in the lake. And as Wolfie likes to say for NQ, bitch it when she's being a diva. I think that's really cute. All right, so we have a 1 minute fair value gap that they're respecting a little bit. They've wicked into this guy. I just don't know. So my rules say they need to break above this guy for me to take along to go that way. And this 50-minute candle is not giving me any kind of warm and fuzzies about going long just yet. But folks that trade the ICT silver bullet, I'm not really great with the silver bullet, but I am pretty decent at seeing fair value gaps where price has been used previously. The one thing I can't see whenever they've dropped so dramatically is if there's a fair value gap that was over here that they used as support to go long that we could also reference for shorts. But this one's forming somewhat nicely. They wicked into it and then turned around. So for long, I need them to bust above here, and then there's juice up here above this high into this fair value gap, so I can actually look for a little bit more up here and into this one because there's like two imbalances in here that I would be interested in considering. But right now, I got nothing. Right now, technically, they ran up, they took a bunch of stuff, they got rejected off of this fair value gap. I don't know if I feel like I should feel bullish. It's 10:10 on September 2nd that we're trading. And sometimes when I have two minds about something, then at that point I just don't take anything because if I can see both trades playing out, then I shouldn't be taking any trade, I think. I should have a very clear bias as to where it's going to go, what it's going to do, and just trade that. All right, so this 15-minute candle has another like 4.5 minutes left in it. So survey says that we still have a sweep of liquidity, a shift right here. We're dropping down lower. 5 more minutes left on this 15-minute candle. Maybe we drop down lower. You can get like a base hit run. But I'm inherently bullish after this push down and then run up. So I don't really want to take any shorts. So I needed to give me a reason to go long. So we have two potential opportunities to go long here. Either I wait for them to take all of this out and give me a bullish close this way, or I get I assume this is just a quick wick down, a little retracement, and I go long at the top of this thing. But this 15-minute candle, I don't like when they look like that, so I usually don't take entries off of those. Hmm. So what is 10, 11? Now the other option is if I'm counter trend, they could potentially drop down and run into this. But I just, like I said before, like that mindset of switching. I mean, you're supposed to be somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for? You're supposed to be somewhat flexible, but I have very specific rules around how I trade. So I need I need price to tell me what it wants to do and not just how I feel or what I feel about what it wants to do. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit since I'm starting to get tired. And I'm gonna just push this to 10:15 so we can get the end of this candle and get the next 15-minute candle. Because I'm not gonna lie, this is making me want to take a long from here. And in my mind, it could be like just a mini retracement. In fact, just out of curiosity, this candle's still not ready to close. I want to see if my stop would save me in this scenario. So we're just below. So like if I wanted an entry here, I would want. So we did get a little bit. No, there's no real shift here. There's none. There's nothing, nothing, nothing. But if I wanted an entry, I'd want them to come back down, and that's my 37 tick stop. So this feels like a retracement and then run back up. And then this is what 210 ticks for like a TP. I don't necessarily like it, but this kind of retracement entry doesn't require a shift. For me, it just requires that they stay above the 50% of this. So I'm gonna see if I'm wrong here just for funsies. And it's probably not gonna knock me in, but see, yeah, there we go. I would have been stopped out with alacrity on that one. It's part of the reason why I have a hard time taking these types of retracement entries. It's not my model, it's not my A plus, so I have a hard time taking it. And I did outline what I wanted for a long up here. So as a test, I would have been instantly schooled. But what did we get? We have a high here, higher high. We have that shifted through. Are we getting a second stage break for an entry? Maybe from here to down here? I don't know. Let's see. For a short, oh, I didn't set it to 10:15 to be sure. Oh, this is the 15-minute over here. So I like to see what these candles are doing, right? Like it's my way of making sure I don't enter on a doji candle because those suck. They suck. And part of the reason why I'm like super uncomfortable with an entry from here is because like these initial retracements, like I like when they come with some sort of mini shift. This one didn't come with a mini shift. It did look semi decent because it stayed around the 50% and then ran up, but no shift. So I don't like that. But for the long, on a day like this where they've been dropping, this might be a better scenario for a short because they tapped into a higher time frame, we got rejected from it. We have a shift here. Now the second stage shift is occurring now. No fair value gas left up here. And then it's gonna have like it's closing semi decently. So from my perspective, if I was gonna go short here, I would take it at the base. Oh wow, did it just let me get in here? What is going on? What? Oh my God. Do you see this? Sometimes Thinkorswim can act really stupid, but I wanted my entry here. It just like let me in on the short. I don't know what is happening. What? Stop limit. I don't know why it's doing that. That is annoying. That is annoying as hell. Annoying as hell. One is too wiki for me. It is. It is too wiki. It is too wiki. So for me, this would be considered a second stage and then an entry here. And then I would be aiming for something down here. I'd definitely be stopped out somewhere. Let's plop this limit down here somewhere. I don't really know what Thinkorswim just did. It's like I would be aiming for this fair value gap down here if it's going to drop. And this stop should be like, I can't even tell where my, yeah. So it just kicked me out. I don't really understand what it just did. Like, what is it doing? So I would definitely have been stopped out because I like the drop, but it didn't give me, yeah, that was weird. It just entered me and then kicked me out. And then earlier it wouldn't let me get in at all. Very weird. Sometimes the behavior. Yeah, high time frame doing its thing. And look at it. It like tapped into this little fair value gap right here and then ran off. And then it's trying to run. This could just chop sideways. What is it? 1017? We could just chop sideways. This is why I don't necessarily like retracements this as much. The type of fair value gaps I like are ones where, it's been tested a few times previously and they've come back to it. That's my favorite. This BS, because after this candle, it's I don't know, it's telling me it wants to continue down, but that's been the whole session's vibe. The other problem I have is when they run and drop before it opens, that drives me nuts. Not to mention when they have like freaking news just before my setup. You're right. They are no trade zones. Like when we're doing sideways, I bet you if you drop to the 5 minute, it just looks like it's barcoding. But I'm trying to see if I can understand using the silver bullet. I definitely didn't like that. It kind of met the criteria for um a a short for me, but this is like not the strongest fair value gap since it's just being used in the same time frame. Like I don't necessarily like those as much. For a continuation long, my general desire is now that they've dropped from here, I want them to come up here, respect the heck out of, bust above it, give me a down close candle right here and then run. That's my favorite. But this drop is not juicy. Part of why I considered the short. Why does it sound like there's running water? Hmm. Hmm. Hey, why you do that? Why you do that? Here. Oh my gosh, she did the cutest little meow just now. Right, baby? What you doing? She's in play mode. They'll play with anything. And her sister is not here for some reason. Okay, so see, this is what annoys me about these particular areas here and the behaviors that they give you. Like, this is why this makes a lot more sense for me. But because there was news at 10 o'clock, that messed me up. Probably why this was a day I didn't trade. Because I don't like any of this, and it would have given me an ulcer. It would have given me an ulcer. But sweep of liquidity, initial shift in market structure, secondary break of structure. And I always wondered to myself, like, should I, when the secondary break of structure occurs, because I usually take an entry at the body. Most times that's okay, but this would have kicked my kicked my stop in the teeth, literally kicked my stop in the teeth. So I also sometimes wonder, should I set like my entry lower down just to make sure, you know, it covers the order block in its entirety, like so, especially since my stop is like 37 ticks no matter what. Exactly, with the bigger setups you can enter. Now, here's a scenario, right? Don't change. It's like you saw me like consider switching my bias, which is bullish, right? Try my best not to do that. It's hard, especially when now we've had two stages of shifts. I should remain bullish, right? In this scenario, now I've gotten a shift, right? There's a fair value gap they've been using a little bit. My personal preference would still be like a long from down here. I don't care what they're doing here. They respected the top of this. They could just tap it and go, but they left this and they respected that. So most likely they'll leave that open and run. But it's hard for me to remember and trust that. So hard. So hard. So then I'm forced to wait for this fair value gap in the hopes that I can get a nice long, either from the middle of it to the next area of interest up here on the 15-minute. But that gives me a cleaner potential setup, I think. What are you doing, baby girl? What you doing? Who's a good girl? In full play mode. Dang, it's like 1 o'clock. All right, so let's see if we get that scenario for long, and then we can close out this session for today. It really helps me so much to do this on a regular basis every weekend because it saves me and it builds my confidence. Yeah, if the high time frame is telling me that it's going to do what I want it to do, then perfect. What this is telling me, this 15 minutes candle, if these guys do this sideways BS, this is a day where I would just switch to the PM and just skip the morning session because what the heck is this? Are we gonna just and actually this fair value gap for me gets moved this way. And I'm over here thinking, do I want to use the bearish fair value gap on the left instead? This guy. But I'm looking to see how this 15-minute closes. They've wicked into it and then sort of ran up. I'm not gonna lie, like this wick is making me want to go bearish, which is why if I can see both sides, I just stop. I just don't trade anything because that's my arse getting handed to me on a regular basis. Like I need to stick with my bias and don't let lower time frames change my mind because when you let lower time frames mess with you, you lose focus and you miss out on good trades and you do just silly things. And I don't need to give the markets my money just cuz. I'm not gonna lie. With this higher time frame fair value gap, these little breaks in price are like entry areas that I'm super into. Like super into. I don't like this 50-minute candle. And this might work out amazingly for me, but I don't like the candle, so I can't get into it. Let's cheat a little bit and let the 50-minute candle close. So let's go straight to 10:30 because I'm starting to get tired. Also, don't trade when you're tired. You're not gonna think clearly, and your ass is gonna get you're gonna get ass is gonna get handed to you. So now I just want to see if my hypothesis for that entry was gonna work. And oh my God. Because part of the reason why I was like considering it is I love a good fair value gap that will get me to where I need to go. But that 50-minute candle was driving me nuts. Very much so. The close is so important. So important. Wait for the candles to close because if you don't, you get smoked. But I'm not gonna lie, part of the reason why I was like even talking about this little baby break right here as an entry for a long, if I was going to continue to be bullish, because I would have wanted to take it, zoom in on that spot, would have wanted to take a long right there or at the top of this fair value gap because they tapped it one, two, three times. But that's an entry I wouldn't have wanted to take anyway because that 50-minute candle was looking so shitty. It was just shitty as hell. So what if I took that and it closed all doji like? That's my ass. So per my rules, my interest is here if I was going to go long. My interest is here. Because if we push up here, break above here, leave me an up close candle, then we have left this chop zone and you've given me a potential for a long via fair value gap that has been used as resistance this whole time. If you don't do that, then I don't take the trade. Even if this looked nice and juicy, but that 50-minute candle looked like shit. So I wouldn't have taken it. This breakup from here would make me feel more comfortable that I took that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, my stop would be like right there or something like that, just to cover fees. That's it. But the rejection off of this fair value gap here, I'm over here just waiting for it to get up there. Let me fix that, make sure it's just right. And make sure your fair value gaps are set up properly. If they're not covering everything, including the little tiny volume and balances, then it's not covering the whole thing. I've missed beautiful setups because I didn't notice that. It's insane how I can actually sit here for like 3 hours back testing every Saturday and it's like nothing because this feels so good and it's helped me so much since I started doing this. Yo, for real. I'm less scared to take my setup, which is the issue that I'm trying to fight through. And because nothing pisses me off more than waiting for my setup and not taking it. Like I wait all day and then I don't take it and then it runs and that's like profit. Because I'm not trading a prop firm, I'm trading my own money. So every time I miss out on something like that, it hurts my heart. Like literally, it hurts my heart. So I got to take it win or lose, win or lose. But sometimes as I'm back testing, I'm just picking random days and I just make sure it's days I didn't take a trade on. Sometimes it's choppy days. And then part of that is also to know it's a choppy day and not take something. So a lot of times as I'm thinking through and talking through the price action, that also helps me because you just saw me look at this and think, should I go short? Oh, because, now I'm using like a lower time frame thing, but I don't like these when they've not been touched before. Exactly. If you don't take your proper setup, you won't get proper statistics. And as you saw in my journal, like for the entire year, my win rate's at 34.94%. But guess what? I'm for the third time this year not in drawdown. I mean, it's only 200 bucks, but I'm not in drawdown. And that's huge because last year I was in drawdown almost the entire year. Not terrible drawdown, but I think when I did my taxes, like it was about 6K for the year. And throughout that whole year, I think I was in the green maybe one time the whole year. Do you know how depressing that is? Like for folks to sit here and you're looking to make money and you're sitting like that's 6K of my own money gone. Oof. But that's tuition in the markets, right? It's tuition. All right, so it's 10:34 on September 2nd. Okay, if you don't take your setups, you can't exactly. If you feel anxious, you need to lower exactly, but you should take it. Now, my problem, it is absolutely like risk management is the biggest thing. Like for me, I'm trying to I risk half a percentage of my account every trade I take. That's why it's so specific. It's 37 ticks no matter what. I know sometimes I need to move my stop lower and put it someplace else, but I don't. Why? Because when I'm on side and I catch the right trade, it taps my entry and it just runs. And then I get a nice 50 to 60 point run and that obliterates everything else. But I have to leave my stop as it is because I need to make sure that I can keep above the mini requirements for trading. So yeah, 0.05% and no more. And I mean, come on, because sometimes they slip us, man. That slippage is a huge pain. Like I took a loss, I took one trade this week. I took one loss, and it was freaking, they slipped me. My loss is usually $185. They slipped me up to 205. And man, that slippage can really hurt your heart. Let me tell you, it can hurt your heart. Hurt it. All right, so we're looking at time and price here. So it's 10:36. We're testing out September 2nd. So now I want to see if we can get up here. If we can get up here, roll past it, maybe we can dig further into this and get a little juicy, or get a little juice out of this. And maybe the on-demand thing will let me put the order in. Because for the vast majority of this whole session, they let me put the order in so you can see where my order would be and where my stop would be and whether or not I got stopped out, but it didn't like trigger the order. So it's usually under maintenance at this time of day, so I'll take it. I'm more interested in just making sure that I put the order in because it's the action of doing it. I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't trade this day, so I'm just sitting here working through my own insecurities. Because part of why I'm not profitable is those insecurities, that anxiety. Sometimes when I take a trade, man, I just start shaking. I'm just like, "Oh," and my fingers start tingling, and it's just really, really bad. So I'm just here working through that whole issue. No muss, no bullshit, no game, no gimmicks. I'm not even using indicators. This is just price and time. That's all I'm looking for. And if I'm on side, I get juicy trades on days when you can call both sides. Just close the charts and come back another day. You don't want to be trading those days. You're not gonna make no money because they're just gonna play both sides against you. And nothing, and then you're gonna sit back and go in hindsight, like, man, if I just switch this. And a lot of times when they do that, and you're on side and you've decided not to change your thought process about how the trade's supposed to go, then you will win. Part of my reasoning for a lot of this stuff is trying to figure out if I'm grabbing the correct fair value gap when I'm like doing these tests. And by the way, this is trash price action right here. Trash. This is utter, unadulterated trash. If I'm being honest with you, when I see this, like I will literally go to the PM and just be like, I can't be bothered to deal with this bull. bull poopy they're giving me right now. And and let's be honest, right? Like after they've moved all of this, they've given you some movement, they give you a little bit movement up. They could just go sideways until the PM or even lunchtime they want to move, which is odd to me because I think, don't y'all want to go eat or something instead of taking all my liquidity and then running away? It's so rude. There is a kitty. Maddie is sleeping right next to me right here. She's so cute. Oh my God. All right, so this is some bullshit. So let's push this up because I'm getting a little winded. Let's push this up to the 10:45 time frame here. If there's nothing by 10:45, I ain't taking nothing anyway. And then we can take a quick look at the PM and see. So 10:45, what are we doing? Okay, so this is the kind of crap that just makes me literally just skip the AM and go straight to the PM. Straight up. No joke, straight up. I just skip it and just go to the PM. That doesn't look like it's moving, actually. Like this side didn't. Did it? Oh, it doesn't look like it. That side's not moving. All right, let's skip to the PM. Yeah, because once it starts to chop, I just skip it. So let's move to 1:45, and then I'll close out after this. Let's see. Yeah, everybody, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What is that? So we came back down. Oh my God. Look at this foolishness. So I guess the short idea was not a bad play, but what is this? Okay. No, don't. Actually, let's see. So this 15 minutes actually gave a decent Fair Valley Gap style entry. Well, not really, it didn't. It's not really what I like to see for this, so no. It did give you a nice place for a return and drop, but I wouldn't have taken it because I was so very paranoid about it. But no joke. Once it showed me that it wanted to do all of this, once it broke this low, I might have attempted a short. Oh, they tapped into that one already, so like this low right here would have been something I would have been interested in. But then I would have been sweating bullets because my stop is tight. I would have been sweating bullets. And they didn't even take that low out. That's just mean. But I would be reusing this Fair Value Gap, no joke. Let's see. They didn't give us nothing anyway. Bullshit. So they made equal lows up here, down here. The day's been mainly bearish. Sometimes when the PM comes and it's like that, we've made what folks like to call a double bottom, right? My long desire is still the same. And I don't necessarily like this fair value gap for what it is anymore. It doesn't really do the job that I want it to do. So I'll let it go. What is the sound I'm hearing? Is there a weird clicking sound? My God, I can't believe I've been doing this for like 3.5 hours. All right, give me like 2 seconds. I'm gonna run to the potty. I'll be right back. And then let's finish up this session and then we'll close. Right. Has Maddie ended my stream just by walking across it? Why, no, girl. Why have you stolen my seat, baby girl? This is a baby that likes to end my streams. You're a stream ender, aren't you, baby? Okay. So what are we thinking? Are we still bullish on this? But man, that's ugly. Ugly the baby. Who's the baby? Who's the baby? Hi. Good. I'm glad you didn't walk over my screen. Oh, really? More people came to hang out when I was just gone? That's funny as hell. Okay. All right. That's what I'm thinking. Only trading 2, 3 hours per where London and New York opens. I'm not gonna lie, it's saving me. All this back testing, it's saving me. And I've switching to only trading my A plus setup is also saving the hell out of me too. Let's see, is there anything juicy to the left here that I could be using? What were we using anything in this chop? Anything at all for support? It's not pretty. Let me see. Because I still think we're doing the whole bullish thing. I don't like that one. We kind of like ran around it, like we treated it like, oh God, I have this ridiculous thought in my head and I cannot say it because it would be bad. I'm trying to find a more PG scenario. So this guy, I'm gonna pull this to the side because we treated it real poor though. But it is an area they just kind of hung about in. Maybe there's something juicier on the 5 minute. I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Like the fact that this feature exists on Thinkorswim is really, really helpful because backtesting on TradingView for me can be a little bit much, It can be a little much because it doesn't help me with the price action moving, like that's the part that's scary, right? Like the next candle print and how is it going to print and what is it going to do? You know what I mean? That's what terrifies me. Okay, so we had this 5 minute version of this fair value gap that was holding price up until it moved. Okay, that's better. That is better. The 1 minute one wasn't covering the whole thing. And let's make sure that we have full coverage on this thing. Let's zoom in here. So we've come back up to an area where they spent time, ran up, blew past. Now I will be happy to see if they give me a close above here. If they don't, then a continuation down makes sense for the nature of the day. What's up? Oh, she's got a little toy in her mouth. It's so cute. I can't. The adorableness is ridiculous. So this is a scenario where I will wait until they bust up past this and then dig. Hopefully they'll dig this way. But there's so much down there for them to dig into. I'm wondering if they'll use like this area right here as like some kind of support. I don't know. But my model requires some sort of sweep of liquidity or a juicy continuation utilizing a fair value gap that they've used as support. So right now, right here, this was being used as support and they ran up. And then once they closed bodies below it, then they disrespected the hell out of it. So technically, if they come back up here, don't break above it, break below it, then I guess that's a continuation for a short. And if that's your bias. But another thing to consider is the simple fact that if you've been sitting staring at the charts for hours, your thought processes might be compromised and you might not be able to really think through your setups as well. So definitely take breaks and don't trade all dang day because that's insane. Trading should be, you come in for an hour, you find what you're looking for, you take your trade, you go do something else, whatever that is. Take a nap, go watch a movie. You have other businesses, go deal with those. Trading for me is freedom. So I had a week off at one point and I was just trading that week and I literally took my trade and it was done and then I had the whole day. I was like, "Oh my God, this is heavenly." It's so good. Be so good. So I'm not gonna lie, given that this is a spot that they rejected from early in the morning and they didn't take the low out down here, they made equal lows, it's looking kind of juicy for a short. I'm not gonna lie. It's an area that they came back up to where they rejected from and they busted through it like it was paper mache. So technically they did sweep liquidity, they did break structure, they gave us a second stage break here and an entry. My brain says I should take a short if it breaks below here. I don't know if I'm just being tired at this point, but it's either a short if they break below here or a long if they break above here. It's just that simple. And make your trading simple. You don't have to overcomplicate anything. If it doesn't fit your criteria, don't take it. They've run through and they've taken a bunch of liquidity that they manufactured on the way down, but not taking that wick. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it. Again, I can say with alacrity that they could go in either direction on this day. But I'm trying not to be too rigid and see what they did on the left as well. So there's some juice here for a continuation back up if they want to tap into all of that. If they're gonna go down, lots to dip into. ICT is not simple. Like you have to literally he has a lot of he has a lot of content and there's a lot of explanations around it and he gives you a lot of different trading models. It's up to us as traders to take what is useful from it and leave the rest alone. Because the more you complicate your trading is the more you start to overthink everything. Okay, what's this? It's almost 2 o'clock. So no joke. Because it came back up to an area, literally came back up to the shift in structure here. So either they leave me in the dust, it's almost 2 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know about you, because right before the beginning of the hour or the half an hour, I do not like to get into trades. And this is making me want to take a short. So remember what I said, right? Like we came here, we came back up to this fair value gap that I've used and abused. I like the little tappy tap here. It's almost 2 o'clock. Ugh, I would love, love, love for this candle to not come up into this little space right here. They tap that little guy and drop below it. This is what I would want if it wasn't just about to be 2 o'clock. I'd want to put the sell right here and then see if I can get it to drop. But I want to wait 30 seconds. I want to wait 30 seconds. And guess what? I think waiting 30 seconds is going to mean I miss out on a decent trade, probably. So 15 seconds and I gotta wait. I'm waiting because I cannot start a trade on the last, you know, the end of a 15-minute, 5-minute candle. But look, At that entry though, like those things make me miss things, you know? They make me miss things. So maybe they give us a secondary opportunity for that. It's not pretty because I'd already be in this if it wasn't about to be 2 o'clock. Because this is like my favorite type of thing, you know? We've got some rejection. Oh, I don't know. What? Yes, my baby. What's up? You're so cute. So let's say I did take that. What is happening? Every cell is doing weird things. Every cell is doing weird things. It's putting my stop all the way up here. What is it doing? And then it stopped me out. I, come on, think or swim. You're killing me, Smalls. But see, this is why it's so hard because I'm inherently bullish. It gave me semi-bearish signs and then ran roughshod all over me. So that's what I'm saying. Like in moments like this, when I can see both sides, it's better to not take a trade. It's better to not take a trade. Okay, Maddie, you are in full zoomy mode, and it's 2 o'clock. So now, do we, if we break above here decently, or what are you doing, little girl? She just pushed this off of my thing. Like, come on, don't mess with me, little girl. Where's your sister? Go play with her. Yeah. So at this point, I'm just tired now, and I can't. I need to zoom out. Like, I need to zoom out. This is 5 minutes. Let's get to the 15 minute. If you cannot see what you need to see on the higher time frame and it doesn't feel juicy, don't take it. I didn't take any trades this day because nothing matched my criteria. I wasn't even trying this fair value gap piece either. What are you doing? Oh my God, that is not a toy. So she's trying her damnedest to knock this off. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Isn't he the funniest little dude? So she's under my desk. She sees the little legs and she's just trying to snatch him. Yes, she's saying it's time, mommy. You've been sitting here for almost 4 hours. But I wanted to see if we're gonna get that scenario. Is this just a pullback to continue up? Because I mean, oops, that's quite a zoom in. Because the truth is, like, once you get tired, just stop trading. Stop. Just stop. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to see the markets right. And I think I'm definitely getting to that point. Honestly, I'm impressed with folks who can live stream like all day. Like, how are they doing that? Incredible. How are they doing that? No, the other thing you could have done is wait to see if it was going to come, what it was going to do here, and then get another break of structure after this, and then take it. Additional confirmation, I suppose. Just like the setup that I was looking for and wanting to backtest. So is this fair value gaps that can become inversions. So in this scenario, this guy is being used as an inversion fair value gap to keep price down and drop it. In a scenario where this closes above it, then it reclaims its original purpose, which is to help price continue up. It's just that simple. But I love, love, love those scenarios. I guess I got a juicy FOMC, post FOMC trade off of my normal situation, which is a shift in structure. They ran all the way up to a fair value gap that they used for resistance in the morning and then dropped like a juicy stone from that. That gave me a nice 65-point trade. And that's why I'm constantly trying to backtest this. Lots of confluences there. Nope. Maddie, All right, guys. I think she's telling me it's enough is enough, y'all. It's enough. Enough is enough. Um, what time is it? 2:05. I swear to God, if this thing is chopping, I'm gonna lose my mind, y'all. I'm gonna lose my mind. Let's cheat a little bit and let's push price up by 10 minutes just to see if we would have gotten like a long or a short. Because it was looking like a very short looking setup. And let's see, would we have gotten some sort of setup off of this? That second stage. Oh, she just ran down the stairs like a boss. So remember what I said, like you could wait for confirmation too and just let it drop. Second stage entry technically would be here. This little order block here. But I can tell why I didn't take this trade. It's too choppy. It's too choppy and annoying. Like what? I was probably really bullish and never got what I needed for an entry, which is basically what's happening here. All right, guys. This price action is giving me a headache and I am now tired. It's time for some lunch, I think. But you know what? Just for funsies. Just for funsies. Second stage drop. Da, 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 da. No, I gotta take it. Like I'm in that place now where I kind of want to trade like I'm paper trading and not give one rat's ass about the actual trade. And that is a bad place to be, y'all. But remember what I said about the second stage breakup structure? We had it respected this fair value gap. We dropped below it. We broke some structure here. Technically, you have an order block in this big down up close candle. You could have taken it right there. Once it broke through, showed it didn't want to drop again with this wick, and it wanted to continue with this wick right here. You could take an entry at the base of that candle or the body and then let it go. Yes, you have more information. You can make a decision about where it's going. So, like, if I was going to be a silly sausage, I could like put a sell right here as it's dropping and just go. And this is doing some foolishness. I don't know. Like, I don't like this chop. This is ridiculous. Like, why does it put it up here? There's this fair value gap here, this tiny one. It would need to drop below that with some alacrity. Right now, I can't see my stop, so I can't tell you where it is because this thing is acting weird. Exactly. If you're undecided, do not take the play. It's just that simple. Don't touch it. It's not going to help you. But in this case, it is doing something for me. Do I know where my TP is? Not a clue, because they've done some weird things up here and dropped. But just for last bit of um, mini confirmation, let's say, just so you can see where the entry is, since I don't know what they're doing with this setup. Things that I consider super useful. So if you're dropping into an area with a fair value gap, look at them. They wicked it. It needs to drop through it like butter, like butter. It needs to pierce it and go ham. It needs to go nuts. Right now, let me see. Can I move this? What is this? What is it doing? Okay. So in this scenario, if I'm gonna trade this and I don't need this whole run. I do not. I don't need it to go all the way down here. I'm looking for the next potential low, and I'm gonna put my limit order there. And let's see if it wants to come get me. Once it busts past, like, the next area of interest is this next fair value gap right here that it tapped and ran. If we can bust through that, we good. We are in like a little mini chop zone right here. If they wanna They might pause and hang out a little bit in this spot, but you might get lucky. The other thing you might want to consider too for that second stage using the fair value gap pop up break below is this guy right here. Because right now my thing is I need to take like profit either like in here or if I'm like really looking for the full run somewhere down here. That's really all dependent on how price moves. Like if we bust below here, use this thing as like some support, then I can move my stop to just above it and hope for the best. But this type of price action, all this chopping around, I'm not a huge fan. We just broke below this fair value gap. I'd want to see them stay below it. If they bust through it, then this trade is defunct and ain't nobody got time for it. Which is what it looks like they're gonna do. Is either they're just tapping this little candle right here, and then they're gonna drop, and you need to see some immediate action in the next this candle or the next one. If it doesn't give that to you, it's just gonna go back up and stop you out and just play games with you. Because that 50-minute candle, what time is it? We still got time. This? Yeah, see? It needs to continue busting through this crap. If it doesn't do that, you're just gonna get your ass handed to you. This is why you don't trade in the chop. Better entry would have been up here, then you could move your stop, and then if you get stopped out, it's just break even. Whatever. I don't even know where my stop is in the middle of this because this is acting crazy. And that 50-minute candle is disgustingly doji like. So this is the type of candle I try not to enter anything on. But I'm tired. And this is like the last of the attempts for today. And this is going to stop me out for sure. Because this is not the behavior I want to see. Nope. So for whatever reason, the stop is not up here. It's up here somewhere. It's probably about here. So that's going to knock me out. And then this is a prime example of why you don't trade when you're tired. Don't do it. It's not worth it. So, about to get stopped. Actually, you can see the open P&L on the end. So my stop's at $185. So once we're $85 away from being stopped out on this gross 15-minute candle. Now, if we Hail Mary this crap, that's just Hail Mary. But don't take trees when you're tired. It's not worth it. Look at that gross candle. Ugh. Yeah. If we don't drop immediately, I'm definitely getting stopped out. Look at that. Why haven't I been stopped out yet? Why are you still doing that? Oh my God. So crazy. Why are they doing this? Anyway, for my normal entry, I would definitely have been stopped out by now. Or maybe my entry was higher up. I don't know. But back in the chop, terrible 15-minute candle, not a great entry. But where your stop should be, trade less. Like you could take this on like 2 or 3 micros, and your stop could be up here. For realsies, your stop could be up here. Given that I have no idea where they actually entered me, I'm just guessing that I should have been stopped out. But they've done some weird thing, and the stop is like, I don't know what that is. Like, what is that? Why is that there? But definitely, if this busts up above here, I would normally be stopped out. I would never normally take an entry in this chop, because that terrifies the crap out of me. I would have taken this entry though, and I would have moved my stop into profit because this is bullshit, and I would have been stopped out on this candle. Straight up. No joke, no lie. Not trying to look good. I would have been stopped out on that candle for like $20, probably. But that's okay. On this 50-minute candle, That's okay. At least I paid for my fees and I can get back in if I want to. It's when you don't pay for your fees and you're just giving away your money and paying fees on top of it and commissions. Ugh, that sucks. That is just disgusting. So these areas can be a right pain in the bootay. How do I close this? Because I should have been stopped out already. Like, let me go to, so you can see this stuff right here. So once it hit 185, it should have just stopped me out, honestly. Just stopped me right out. I don't really understand why it didn't, but this is also a test account, so who knows? I'm gonna stop myself up because this wouldn't be indicative of a real win for me. So let's see if the flatten works. Oh, it doesn't. What? I can't flatten it. I can't close it, y'all. I guess I need to move my, with the test feature, I need to move my stop. Like, where is the stupid stop? What? Oh my God, like what is happening? Why can't I close this out? Okay, it finally closed. No, no, it's still open. It's still open. Yeah. I mean, Thinkorswim is playing games with me today. Like, I'm trying to tell you. But guess what? We $20 in the green, in the black, man. We in the black. Ah, okay, just for funsies, let's see if it does drop. Because remember what I said about where your stop needs to be with less micros? Because the short's not a bad play. It's just my stop could not take that. So where would I want to get out? This is where would I want to get out? Because I tried to flatten it, wouldn't close it. So what is this? So this is their, let's see if they drop. Because I can't set it over here. So my usual desire is for about $1,000. Where is that? Let's do 1,010, eh? If it drops. Can it set that? Look at where it put it. Man, this thing is broken. This thing is broken hardcore. Can I close it? Come on. Let me flatten. It's rejecting my ability to cancel the virtual order. What is happening? And I can't put a stop either. So that was a sell. I need to put a buy. Let me put a single buy there. Maybe that will stop me out. Ah, but what if that like puts a buy in and just puts me back in again? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? All right, let's put a limit buy down here so we can move it out. We are literally messing around because we're in a sell. We're literally messing around with the Thinkorswim features, the test features. Really? You- Did they? Because this should say stop on it, right? It doesn't say stop on it. So I don't want it. I'm in a one cell, so it should knock me out. That's the one thing I don't like about and why I don't do market buys and then add stuff in is I can't like just do a weird stop. Like this should say a stop on it, but it's just limit. I don't really understand. Because now it says I have two limits here. So that's a limit buy. I'm in a sell, so that should knock me out, right? That should knock me out. So normally, so we took a loss already. So normally, let's close that out and hope this will be the last thing, right? Let's feel a little win in our sales. How about that? Can we feel a little win in our sales? Look at this. I can't even see it. Okay, there we go. Zoom out. Zoom. I don't even know what that is, like how much profit that is. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Let's see if they want to come down to this wick, and then we'll close. And seeing that we tried to close this a bunch of time and we finally seen a little profit, man, let's see what we get. The entry was here, so this would have naturally stopped me out. This is some bullshit. So let's see. We're still in this weird little chop. We got 5 minutes to make it to the 4 hour. So let's just hang out for 5 more minutes and then we'll close out and see how Thinkorswim wants to behave. I'm curious to see if this stops me out or just adds another contract by some weirdness. Come on. No. All right, touch it, touch it. What are you doing? Get me out, not me out. It's touching it. It's touching it and doing nothing. Come on. Come on. Nothing? Ugh. It's acting weird, guys. That should have kicked me right out. All right, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to close this out. And hopefully, like, it doesn't think that it's still in a trade at the end. Because that didn't close it. That didn't close it. And it really doesn't want to flatten. Like, really? Yeah, man, that don't want to close nothing. All right, guys, let's think or swim acting stupid or not. Let's close this out. And all I'm gonna say is trade your A plus model. Don't give in to FOMO. Don't chase price. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Every day is an opportunity to grow and learn and be okay with losses. Analyze them, figure out why you're losing. Price will tell you. Price will tell you. And have reasons for getting into your setups. Like, don't just YOLO into a trade. Like, I gave you my reason why I would go long, and I gave you my reason why I would go short in this scenario. And I think in this case, the short is weirdly choppy, but whatever. And now it's time to go enjoy the weekend. Oh my God, I cannot believe I've been sitting here. It's 2 p.m. 2 p.m. And by the way, Thinkorswim still has not closed this out. All right, guys, I'm gonna go eat some lunch and go relax. I'm gonna go look for a Demon Slayer t-shirt. Might even go take a nap. Actually, a nap sounds really good. Like, really good. Go enjoy your weekends. Have a good time. Shakira, out. Oh, also, thanks for joining me and hanging out for so freaking long. For real. Do I? It's still in there, man. It's still going. Like, what is happening? Come on. It's a test account, I get it, but still, it's crazy. All right, y'all. It's time to end the stream. Be good. Shakira out. Let me hit the end stream button.